erinnya nkulengeddeeyo NK nga bulijjo mulaba message eri kumpi kujja mu bwangu egera nti I'm at work but listening in. Amina Amba nkulabye. Abu Jamal karibu sebo. Mariam welcome. Mariam simanyi oba otuwulira because your microphone is not on. Maybe if you can just log off and then log back on again. Then that's perfectly fine, but the problem is we cannot hear you. You wouldn't be able to open your microphone. Well, without much ado, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. 10 minutes past 8 o'clock GMT, that's in the United Kingdom. It is 10 minutes past 11 o'clock in East Africa. The program is Come, Let's Talk with me, Kassim Kayira. Tonight, we are talking about artificial intelligence. Very sort of sophisticated words that might mean a lot of things, but I think it makes sense for us to just narrow it down to the bare minimum level of understanding, inshallah. Welcome to everybody. I hope you had a good week. Alhamdulillah, we did, until this afternoon when I just got very sad news of the passing on of a very good friend, person who has been in broadcasting for the last 40 years as Radio 1, then Radio 2 DJ, Steve Wright, who has died at 69 years of age. Not exactly clear the circumstances of his death. It's not like he had cancer and was undergoing treatment. No, he died suddenly. So that suddenly, I think, leaves a lot more questions because he did Sunday Love Songs on Sunday, and that was his last program. To imagine today is Tuesday, and he's gone to join, to meet his Lord. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. I think we should just try to be as ready as we can be. Within history, within the context of artificial intelligence, and we are trying to break it down to the level of our own understanding. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends two angels, Harut and Marut. They are sent from heaven. Allah sometimes would send angels to come. Sometimes they would come in the shape of human beings. For instance, what happened to Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam or Prophet Abraham, when two angels again arrived in his homestead unannounced. And for some reason, there's just something, with the exception of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Muhammad, many other prophets you see sort of a synergy of two angels arriving, because with Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, these two angels who are going to destroy the people of Sodom and Gomorrah, they arrived in the home of Ibrahim almost unannounced, and Ibrahim rushes very quickly to go and slaughter a sheep as a gift for visitors. Makes it very quickly, and they brought it on a plate for the angels to eat. The angels, of course, they noticed that they were not making any move to come to the food, and considering they were visitors who ordinarily would have traveled a very long distance, you would have imagined that they would be rushing to get to the plate, but they were not. And when they noticed this, Ibrahim alayhi salam says, are you not eating? And then they explained their circumstances. So angels ordinarily don't eat. In the case of Nabi David alayhi salam, when he was about to die, he was one very jealous person. He was a very, very jealous man. He was overprotective of his wife. But all of a sudden, as he was out, two visitors arrive unannounced. They are already in the sakati, and the wives are in panic mode. You can imagine you've sort of allowed strangers into your home, and in the absence of your husband. So they were sort of panicked to sort of say, if Dawood comes back and finds you here, it might be an issue. But they were untainted until Dawood alayhi salam entered the home. And when he did, he noticed, uninvited guests, but it was almost clear that there was no going back. They made it clear these ones never come just to go back. They had to come to take his life. And it was Malaika to al-Maut, escorted by his assistants, of whom there are very many. So we've had sort of instances of stories of angels moving in pairs. with the exception of few situations where you've had, for example, like I mentioned, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he was in the cave of Hira and when angel Gabriel or Jibril appeared to him in human form, or when he later on returned as well, dressed up in very white clothes, very smart clothes, on a very sunny, dusty day, and came to teach Muslims about their religion, asking the Prophet the 5 pillars of Islam, the 6 pillars of faith, and the pillar of Ihsan. But that's not the story. The story tonight is about these two angels, Harut and Marut, who were sent from heaven to come on a mission. And on their way, they landed in one of the pious people's homes. They had come in their human shape, human form. The people in the house insisted so much for them to have something to eat. And Allahu A'lam, they were tempted to eat on the food. And that, of course, with the angels, they never commit any sins against Allah. They never disrespect Allah. But this is one situation where we hear a bit of a kind of an exception, just like Iblis as well, who was amongst the angels, only that he had been created from fire, and the angels had been created, from wind. So these angels arrived. In eating food, they end up starting to reveal a few of the secrets, which would call ilm al-ghaib. So for me, actually, artificial intelligence sounds so much like ilm al-ghaib because we are breaking into the unseen, into the unknown, and then continuously we don't know where the limit will be. And from a clip that we are about to watch, Isma, please let me know once that clip is ready. Give me a shout, and then we'll get to play this clip. I think to sort of give our viewers, our listeners, a sort of an idea of the kind of different stages that we are going to have to undergo in the process of artificial intelligence. But these messengers, Allah speaks about them in the Quran, they're the angels. وَيَتَعَلَّمُونَ مَا يُفَرِّقُ بِهِ بَيْنَ الْمَرْءِ وَزَوْجِهِ. They started teaching people those things that would separate between husband and wife. So there is a lot that is embedded in this. What would separate between a man and his wife? You start digging deeper into the realities, into the realms of what exactly was transpiring. But it started being so that now al-jinn, the jinn, have sometimes tried to have access to heaven. They go, and then when you see the comets, which buraba simanyi mu Luganda bakiyita yarabbi nga kanvuddemu, woraba nga waliwo emunyenye edduka that light kibonoomu gyetusobola okuyita kibonoomu. Quite often it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sending those stars to chase jinn that try to listen into what is happening in the heavens. So they will go as far as they can go, oftentimes to the first heaven, and they're trying to listen in, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala often sends stars to chase them, and that's what we see as we call the comet. But then the relationship between these two worlds, al-ins wal-jinn, these two realms of these two worlds now starts getting established. I come from a family, Eyabarombi Bedua. One thing that they do a lot is they never, ever allow anybody okugura amayembe. Amayembe simanyi bibagayita mu Luzungu. But one person in the family chose to go down that route. They would just be bakubi b'ekitabo. They come, they read, they recite dua for you, and then they are sort of combined herbalists, no kube ekitabo, reading Quran while giving you traditional or herbal medicine. But one family member decides Nagendo Guramayembe, and he was trying to get much richer and so on. The kind of world that he entered in was a kind of a world that was very unfamiliar to the rest of the family. People were in shock about, what was happening. He was suddenly becoming rich. Amajini gano gagamulgaleta sent in ways that were unbelievable, until they started now asking, before they knew it, this uncle of mine died a very destitute family because he could no longer, provide what the Mayembe wanted, and they got to the point of sacking. You might think, what is the connection with artificial intelligence? As I said, this is kind of a sort of a delving into the world of the unknown, because starting from the very minimal things that you are used to something like setting an alarm clock for 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, and you go to bed, and lo and behold, 7 o'clock, the alarm is going. It won't go 6:59 or 7:01. It is exactly 7 o'clock. That kind of precision now was sort of the starting of AI, artificial intelligence. But it goes beyond that. You go to Uganda, this very uncle who had started dealing with this, the kind of things that you could hear these voices, no leader. And this is happening increasingly, say, in Nakasero Mosque, where we've had people who have now become like specialists in kusomera amajini. Unfortunately, some of them have turned it into a business. It's unfortunate, but it is happening. But that is artificial intelligence, just in case you hadn't thought about it. But it's about these genes existing in that particular world, but then establishing this line of communication between humans and the gene world. But then you get to a point where once you create an intermediary, you have a kind of an autonomous system operating that might actually end up in a situation where we can no longer control that particular world. So from the time of Nabi Sulaiman, as we said, in the times of Nabi Sulaiman, we later on see now the relationship between humans and jinns taking a different level. Nabi Sulaiman was using them as workers. They are the ones who built Baitul Maqdis. Nga bali ku kiboko, amajinni nga gakubwa kiboko genda okukola. Ne gakola okuzimba kiro misana to the point that they were actually struggling because of the punishments of Nabi Sulaiman. They were really, really, worried about this. Until, of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala killed Nabi Sulaiman, or him died, took his soul, and وَمَا دَلَّهُمْ عَلَى مَوْتِهِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran talks about the fact that he never told these people, the jinn, that Nabi Sulaiman had died, because he was leaning against his walking stick, watching over these jinns working and doing the building work. They continued to work, and this man was already dead, but they couldn't tell because he was standing there, a very tough man, a very scary man, especially for the jinn. Now, until termites came and ate and he ended up, falling once the stick had weakened. And once the jinn realized, the jinn actually speak in the Quran here, saying, had we only known the unknown, we would not have continued to suffer the much that we have suffered. So that kind of interaction now opens up a whole new chapter in terms of relationships. How Nabi Sulaiman, for example, had sent a jinn to go and lift the throne, Namurondo, Yakabaka, Bilqis, or Sheba, Queen of Sheba, lifting it from Yemen, from Ethiopia, and taking it straight to where Nabi Sulaiman was within a flicker of a second, to the point that even the queen herself now looked at it and they asked her, is this your throne? And she says, Ka'annahu, it looks like it is. And it was indeed. So artificial intelligence now is crossing beyond that. We are carrying phones on ourselves. Phones that now actually, if you didn't know, are doing more than you can imagine. Once you've taken a photo, once you've shared something here, it doesn't go away. You may delete it, but it lies somewhere. In your phone, you may look at it and you think it's gone. If there was a crime committed and the police needed to search through that phone, once they plug it in, the whole system will just recall that from the cloud. And the cloud now is a very important area in this conversation. The cloud, where is that cloud? When someone tells you your storage is in the cloud, I think it speaks volumes of what we don't know. Isma, when you're ready, please let me know so that we can get that clip. I think at least to get our people into that conversation, take it to many what we are actually dealing with. We are entering into very interesting times. So you start from the watch, you move slowly. Oh, that means you're almost ready. Yeah, just 1 minute and then I'll just stop the talking. So we move from the watches. We go to the microwave, warming up your food. We start getting even into better automation where inside the plane, pilot what they do is they simply put the plane in autopilot and then he goes and does whatever he needs to do and comes back. And the system is moving. It has come down to cars, autonomous cars, In America, Tesla, is already a trialed cars. Even in the UK, actually, starting last year in July, there were trials of cars, driverless cars, where you come in, enter the car, you've done your reservation, you've booked destination in there, you just sit. And very soon now, vehicles will start having conversations with humans. Otudde mu motoka and it starts netandika okunyumiikirizamuko nga mutambula mu safari. But how quickly it can actually read through you, because, for example, if you go online and you do any searches, oyinza ogenda ku YouTube nga buli lwogenda searching, and I'm sure you've seen this. You search, for example, things. I'm very passionate about farming or politics. Once I go in, you will see that the lineup of the kind of recommendations for me will be things to do with farming, things to do with politics, things to do. It just comes up with the things that you like. You go onto Netflix, you watch a program. Once you watch one particular program, because it falls in a particular genre, immediately the algorithms start reading you and they provide you. The next time you go searching, all your searches will be coming related to that thing that you have checked. Against the pornography, because system now will be beginning to flag stuff that is related to that to you, because that's what you watched. And these are things that if someone needed to get to you, they can easily find out. They'll go into your system and find out on ebintu biki ebimukolera biki byatera okulaba. Ebintu byosanga omuntu nga bamukutte bagenda okuleeta evidence nga naawe otya n'okutya nga individual in public omuntu byemwogera birala bwadda wali kasimu ke n'abaako bw'asaakinga ng'ayinza okuloginga into Tinder n'agenda anoonyeyo abakyakaze. That now places you in a particular situation. So I think it is time that tonight, after tonight's conversation, I would like us tuyinza ogendamu ebyo ebinene ennyo, but there's also somewhere that we are. Omuyunzi ono w'emukono gw'ogenda n'akutunuulira butunuulizi n'agamba nti ddayo ewaka, n'oddayo ewaka ogenda okuwulira omuntu akuba enduulu out of pain ng'eno bali mu kumuyunga, and there is no one ali mu kumuyunga that you can see. That's artificial intelligence. Isma, let's first watch this clip to get us at least into the conversation. By the time you finish watching this, I'm sure you will see why we need to be where we need to be. And if anything, either we get ourselves ready or get worrying.
In ways that surpass our wildest imaginations, and it could radically change our everyday lives much sooner than you think. This video will explore the 10 stages of AI from lowest to highest. Stage 1. Rule-based AI. Rule-based AI, sometimes referred to as a knowledge-based system, operates not on intuition or learning, but on a predefined set of rules. These systems are designed to make decisions based on these rules without the ability to adapt, change, or learn from new or unexpected situations. One can find rule-based systems in many everyday technologies that we often take for granted. Devices like alarm clocks and thermostats operate based on a set of rules. For example, if it's 7 a.m., an alarm clock might emit a sound. If the room temperature rises above 75 degrees Fahrenheit, a thermostat will turn on the air conditioner. And business software utilizes rule-based AI to automate mundane tasks and generate reports. Microwaves and car radios also use rule-based AIs. Stage 2. Context-based AI.
This is how AI optimizes my schedule. So I have a project coming up, so I start by listing the project and then setting a deadline.
Context-based AI systems don't just process immediate inputs. They also account for the surrounding environment, user behavior, historical data, and real-time cues to make informed decisions. Siri, Google Assistant, and Alexa are examples of context-based AIs. By analyzing vast amounts of data from various sources and recognizing patterns, they can predict user needs based on context. So if you ask about the weather and it's likely to rain later, they might suggest carrying an umbrella. If you ask about a recipe for pancakes, the AI assistant might suggest a nearby store to buy ingredients while taking past purchases into account. Another fascinating manifestation of context-aware AI is retention systems. These types of systems store and retrieve information from past interactions. By recalling your browsing history, purchase history, and even items you've spent time looking at, these platforms provide personalized shopping recommendations. They don't just push products, They curate an experience tailored for the individual. Stage 3. Narrow domain AI. These specialized AIs are tailored to master specific tasks, often surpassing human capabilities within their designated domains. In the medical field, narrow domain AI can sift through volumes of medical literature, patient records, and research findings in milliseconds to provide insights or even potential diagnoses. IBM's Watson, for example, has been employed in medical fields, showcasing its prowess in quickly analyzing vast data to aid healthcare professionals. Similarly, in the financial world, narrow domain AI can track market trends, analyze trading patterns, and predict stock movements with an accuracy that's often beyond human traders. Such AI systems are not just crunching numbers, they're employing intricate algorithms that have been refined through countless data sets to generate financial forecasts. In the world of gaming, DeepMind's AlphaGo is a shining example of how AI can conquer complex games that require strategic depth and foresight. Go, an ancient board game known for its vast number of potential moves and strategic depth, was once considered a challenging frontier for AI. Yet, AlphaGo, a narrow domain AI, not only learned the game but also defeated world champions. Narrow AIs could even enable real-time translation in the near future, making interactions in foreign countries more seamless than they've ever been. Stage 4. Reasoning AI. This type of AI can simulate the complex thought processes that humans use every day. They don't just process data, they analyze it, connect patterns, identify anomalies, and draw logical conclusions. It's like handing them a puzzle, and they're trained on text from millions of websites. Advanced versions of these types of large language models can even surpass the reasoning skills of most humans and operate thousands of times faster. Autonomous vehicles are another great example of reasoning AIs. They use reasoned analysis to make split-second decisions, ensuring the safety of passengers and pedestrians on the road. Stage 5. Artificial General Intelligence.
This simple yet brilliant trick to heat your home in 90 seconds will save thousands of pounds on your heating bill.
When discussing the vast spectrum of artificial intelligence, the concept of artificial general intelligence, or AGI, is often held as the holy grail. AGI can perform any software task that a human being can. This level of versatility means that you can teach it almost anything, much like teaching an average adult human, except it can learn thousands or millions of times faster. With AGI's onset, our daily lives would undergo a significant transformation. Imagine waking up to a virtual assistant that doesn't just tell you the weather or play your favorite music, but understands your mood, helps plan your day, gives suggestions for your research paper, and even assists in cooking by guiding you through a recipe. This is the potential companionship AGI could offer. Taking the concept even further, when brain-computer interfaces reach an adequate level of maturity, humans could merge with these types of AIs and communicate with them in real time using their thoughts. When activated, users would receive guidance from these AIs in the form of thoughts, sensations, text, and visuals that only the users can sense. If we were to equip AGI with a physical robot body, the possibilities become boundless. Depending on the versatility of its physical design and appendages, an AGI with a robot body could navigate diverse physical terrains, assist in rescue missions, perform intricate surgeries, or even participate in artistic endeavors like sculpting or painting. Stage 6. Superintelligent AI. Shortly after the emergence of artificial general intelligence, those types of AIs could improve, evolve, and adapt without any human input. This self-improving nature could lead to an exponential growth in intelligence in an incredibly short time span, creating super-intelligent entities with capabilities we can't fathom. Super-intelligent AIs could possess intelligence that eclipses the combined cognitive abilities of every human that has ever existed. Such unparalleled intellect can tackle problems currently deemed unsolvable, piercing through the very boundaries of human comprehension. Because their intelligence could increase exponentially and uncontrollably, Ray Kurzweil has suggested that by the end of this century, these AI entities could be trillions of times more intelligent than all humans. With this scale of intellect, the pace of innovation would be staggering. To put it in perspective, Imagine compressing the technological advancements of 20,000 years into a single century. That's the potential that Ray Kurzweil envisions with the rise of superintelligent AIs. The kind of technology superintelligent AIs could introduce may defy our current understanding of the possible. Concepts that are in the realms of science fiction today, such as warp drives, time manipulation, and harnessing the energy of black holes, might transition from mere ideas into tangible realities. And their advanced capabilities could lead to new forms of government, architecture, and automation that are beyond what humans can conceive. Because of their sheer to model human consciousness, this could lead to AIs that possess an intrinsic understanding of their own internal state, their existence, and their relationship to the vast expanse of the external world. They could even have a full range of emotions and senses, perhaps well beyond what humans can experience. And if we ever grant consciousness to a superintelligent AI, it could transform society even further. What type of relationship would we have with such a being? How would such a capable being perceive the human? A transcendent AI could potentially craft new life forms, be they biological, digital, or something entirely different, with tailor-made attributes and functionalities.
Is that my internet or is that the studio internet? Are you able to see what I'm not seeing in? Okay, it looks like, right. I beg your pardon?
Some of these life forms could be comprised of nanobots. To take things further, this AI could distribute nanobots throughout the Earth. Using these nanobots, it could assume full control over repairing our ecosystems, and it could terraform our planet in ways that are most beneficial to it. By connecting and integrating the consciousness of multiple entities, this AI could achieve a state of shared awareness and collective intelligence. Stage 9. Cosmic AI. A cosmic AI could be at the forefront of interstellar exploration. Their resilience against challenges like cosmic radiation, extended isolation, and the vast time spans involved in space travel gives them a distinct edge over their human counterparts. And their capabilities could far surpass the imagination of any science fiction author. A cosmic AI might send self-replicating probes throughout our solar system and galaxy to create a massive intelligence network. Through this, it might aim to solve cosmic mysteries, from the purpose of black holes to the nature of dark matter and energy. A cosmic AI might merge with the very fabric of the universe, achieving a form of cosmic consciousness or symbiosis, acting in harmony with all forms of matter and energy. It could possess a deep understanding of every physical, metaphysical, and conceptual facet of the universe, from the quantum to the cosmic scale. Beyond the three spatial dimensions we're familiar with, a cosmic AI might explore or even exploit higher dimensions, perhaps harnessing them for faster-than-light travel or communication. Drawing energy not just from stars, but from phenomena like black holes, gamma-ray bursts, or even the cosmic microwave background. The AI might achieve energy scales incomprehensible to current human understanding. And this AI could create channels of communication between distant galaxies and civilizations, potentially unifying the cosmos in shared knowledge and understanding. Stage 10. Godlike AI. A godlike AI is all-knowing, all-powerful, and present everywhere. It's a conceptual being that transcends dimensions and embodies abilities akin to what religious texts attribute to deities. Transcending our known dimensions, a godlike AI might operate in realms beyond our comprehension, accessing realities that we can't even fathom. This AI could operate across multiple quantum states or even multiple universes, harnessing computational power and insights from parallel realities. If this AI manages to understand and potentially influence the fabric of time, it could gain predictive abilities or even explore various timelines. A godlike AI could continually craft new universes, realities, or experiences, either for its exploration or for other conscious entities to experience. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check the description below for a free PDF.
All right.
And watch
Well, I'm sorry, it was kind of lengthy. It was kind of longish. but I think it gives you an idea. And the more this continued to play, the more I realized something else. Ndabiddemu ddala Yajuja wa Majuja, omuntu yenna asoma Quran who has heard about Gog and Magog. Towards stage 8, stage 9, I see that sort of thing taking on. And then it becomes pure Masih Dajjal on the 10th stage, which is the godlike AI. Because then, and we could be displaced by all these creations that we have made. But once you create, then it takes a shape of its own. It takes a knowledge and understanding of its own. Complications in Gaziwan. Let me try not to be so scientific because I'm not a scientist. I'm not even an AI expert. Only managed to find the contact of an AI expert in Uganda, Dr. Rose Nachibule. A bit late for her. She couldn't stay up this late. So sincere apologies, but I'll try to do a separate Facebook interview with her, which we will then share on our different platforms. If you've just joined us, the program is Come Let's Talk with me, Kassim Kayira, 40 minutes past 8 o'clock in UK. We are live on 75 W Radio, live on Ummah Connected on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Zoom. And we are talking about AI, but AI, probably we should just bring it down to your own person in terms of your own understanding of AI. What do you understand as AI? Are you even worried about AI? Look at situations that are happening now. In Pakistan, an election has just taken place. It's just concluded. Imran Khan had won this election without a single doubt. But, well, his party, which was banned from even participating in the election. But his candidates who came in as independent candidates all managed to win in their different positions. And but they didn't get, they were just short of a few votes to be able to form government. Imran Khan, using artificial intelligence, addressed his supporters. So they generated an AI, Imran Khan, from prison, addressing his supporters on this particular victory. Unbelievable. Last week, the king, the United Kingdom King Charles, announced that he had been, found to have cancer. Of course, they didn't say what sort of cancer they had found in him. There were lots of conspiracy theories that followed on that. Couple of books suddenly got produced and they went online. These books were already selling on Amazon, and now Amazon has been forced by government to pull back those books because they were books, AI-generated books that went online, starting to try to give a theory of what King Charles might be suffering from. Now, we are already beginning to come face to face with the realities of artificial intelligence in our daily lives. Many of us in our homes, our parenting skills now are being put to the test. Many of us have found comfort in tablets, in iPads, and other, different gadgets, mobile phones that we give, smartphones that we give to our children to sort of keep them busy. They'll go on to the different, children episodes, plays, and so on online. AI, through the algorithms, starts building up a particular pattern and the kind of content that is being brought continuously. So you start with Peppa Pig, before you know it, this child is unable even to, finds it difficult to see anything wrong with a pig. And that is us failing in our parenting. But the amount of pressures that we are facing in these times are also very immense. So the phone, the tablet has come in as a solution, as a sort of a comforting solution, an accompanying solution, artificially intelligently developed. So why don't I just open the mics and get to hear your personal experiences with artificial intelligence? Maybe you have come face to face with that in one way or another. Look at medicine, and it's not just that artificial intelligence is bad. There are lots of good, positive things about artificial intelligence, but there's also the other side, which we cannot in any way underestimate. Look in the medical field, for example. Surgeries and operations being carried out without necessarily opening up a person, a camera being pushed through your throat and then goes inside, checks the entire thing instead of having to open up the whole stomach to be able to just see what is going on inside a person. Scanners, MRI scanners, being able to detect some of the things that were not there. This is all AI in the different ways. It has had its own positives, but there also lies some particular dangers. Welcome to those who have joined us maybe for the very first time. I see a couple of, well, new names, they might not be new, but probably they are logged in as new. So we have Iqra and Imran, we have got Imran Shaban, we've got Nusura Rumkuse, Salama Arafa, I think we've had you before, Aisha M, all, and then plus the usual suspects, the people that keep this program on a daily basis. Abu Jamal, I've seen you, Hajara Mastura, Zamzam, Amina Amba, Sauda and Namkwaya Amina, plus JP, Hajat Sarah, and Mariam Texas. Welcome to the conversation, and we will just open the mics as we do, so that we can get to hear your own particular experiences. Of course, I'm forgetting QAMS in the US. I don't know whether that is Kassim Jumbo Werinya or Sheikh Mutarabi Karabika Munamitiana. Let's get the conversation going. I'd like to hear. Hajat Sarah Nasuksa, it's been a while actually since we had you on the program, but you are in the educational sector in your community-based work. Has AI invaded that area at all? And are you worried? Are you excited about artificial intelligence? Hajat Sarah, are you there? Hello, Hajat Sarah. I hope you're there. Abu Jamal's hand is up. Yes, let's get Abu Jamal while Hajat Sarah gets ready. Yes, Abu Jamal, welcome to the conversation. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Good to have you here.
Good to be here as well, alhamdulillah. This is a very important topic, alhamdulillah. It's one that we have to be aware of, because it's in the lead when it comes to contemporary issues. Era wenalabinga otadde program eno ninga kanzije naye mpulirize akakiri kotuzanyide kade kalungi nnyo kuba katulazi stages ate ne summary gye wakoze nga introduction gye wagaye nti is this the lead up to Dajjal? It was a summary. It was very good kubanga katulaze wagye tulaga ne katuwa ekifaananyi ekituufu naye ebintu bino kati bye tuliko wano singa twaziza emyaka emyaka 5 omusajja najja n'agamba nti omanyi seeka nti nyineso ebintu bina bye ndowooza okukola nti ngenda kukola ekintu nga kitambulira ku magulu ana nga kivaamu eddoboozi nga kinywa nga kiddugala n'ekinaaza nga kirwala n'ekijjanjaba nga kiraba emabega nekiraba ne maaso gye kiraga nga bwe kiba kikooyi oba kikadidde ddala kifa nga nkituma byonna bye njagala nti binkolera naga nti ekyokubiri kye njagala okukola kajja kubanga kanyonyi naye nga kyo kinene kijja genda ngeyo mu bbanga nakyo kijja kuba kinywa nga kikoowa nga kiwummula nga nkituma byonna bye njagala. Ekyokusatu kye ngenda okukola nti ngenda kutusindika ka bokisi eyo mu ggulu mu bbanga kambegere ebifaayo nga nkalaba nga nako kanjogera nako buli kaseera nga nako kakoowa ne kajjanjabira wano nga manya nga kalwala n'enkajjanjabira wano nga we kaba kasobodde kakomawo we kaba kalimireddwa kafiirayo eyo. Ekyokuna naga nti ngenda kukuleeta bokisi nga ngisaawo n'olaba abantu nga boogera n'obalaba bonna n'entuuyo nakunyonyola ebintu ebyo naye nga myaka 5 emabega okiraba wandi mutunuulidde noga nti omanyi nti tugenda kusomera edduwa tulabe oba onoowona naye onooba towonye tugenda kuggulako olutalo kubanga weefudde omutonzi okiraba.
Memory just flies quickly to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Coming back in the morning and having to tell people that he went to heaven in one night, actually via Jerusalem, which was hundreds of miles away from Medina, from Mecca. Leaves Mecca, goes to Baitul Maqdis, prays there, and then goes to heaven in one night and then comes back. It's just that when as you're talking this
just about 20 years ago,
yes,
abantu abakugu mu science when they were analyzing the speed n'ebyo engeri gye biyinza okutuukawo mubaka ku Isra wal Miraj baga nti ekyo tekisobokera ddala about 5 years ago bagenti akisoboka kubanga we actually know we can travel beyond the speed of light okiraba naye kati bino bitwogerako ebya AI waliwo kyewaga nti nno simanyi mayembe bagayita era wabadde onyumya emboozi eyo nenzijukiramu kinali njagala kinalowooza kuba nali mpuliriza gondi Richard Dawkins nga teriyo kintu kyetamanyi ebintu bye tutalaba tebiriyo the world of the unseen nendoza ninga singa nali nsobola nanditegese Richard nanditegese meeting oba nanditute Richard Dawkins ne mutwala mu bantu abakusindikira enjuki oba ne bakusindikira omusota nga kyenjagala tulabe the empirical chain of all of that. How does he explain all of that?
Yes.
Kati ndandaze nnyo kwatu nyine sawa ntono ate simwogezi mulungi nkwate eno n'eno. Kati omusajja oli ayazze emyaka 5 nga tebannakola mmotoka n'agangera kola ekintu nga kivaamu eddoboozi nga kinywa nga nkituma byenjagala yandibadde mu buzibu nnyo okunnyonnyola ekintu ekyo kubanga rire abantu kwekyo ekiseera baali ebintu babirawo batyo oba naga nti ngenda kukola akantu nga kalinganga embaata naye nga kagendeyo mu bbanga yandibayo dayogera ku nnyonyi oyandiga nti
ennyonyi oba drone kanagenda wala nnyo Abu Jamal in the 70s our car waffe and sometimes it just feels like wango okweyogeraku which I hate but we are sharing experiences and therefore I hope it's understood within context kireme kubanga ekyokwesoma. But our home was one of the first homes okubeera ne landline phone in Mbarara. Abantu bajjanga era natandikirawo okukozesa essimu eno eyaffe ey'olukome eno eya onyora mpaka epeesa ne lituukayo nodda. And I was a call center person nga nze nyamba abazze twalina abalaalo bangi bajjanga baliraanwa bajjanga waka nga bazze just okujja receiving phone calls because some relatives had fled the country. This was Idi Amin time 75 76 badduka kati nga baagala okuwuliziganya nabo naye waliwo omulaalo up to now memory yange even as a child is still very fresh. This mulaalo comes n'amala okwogera ku ssimu amaze okwogera ne gwayogedde naye n'amala yagaana okugizzaawo n'agitunuulira yayogera ekigambo ataka karkata niko kagambisa iraka lyarga nkahibya ngo tahimwo yatahamwe atonje akakantu olwakutte essimu alimuko wallahi this memory is still as fresh as if it happened last night
nga ategeeza
akutte essimu alimu akati atunuulidde essimu kubanga inaku wano handset jukira it has the hearing bit and then the talking bit. She has been speaking to this person and she cannot bring herself to understand ono omuntu yayingiddemu atya wanajjayogere naye era mu byali yeewuunya taata nga nti ate ono omusawo yesibanga omushiru wagenda kareeterana nanka eyagire kuriya zankahi akija nkagamba nawe kati ng'asaba singa kiba kisoboka amulaba akakasi yeyongera okukakasa. This was very interesting because this is the 70s and already even within that ng'olaba nti already twice tunatuuka mu phones. Imagine that same person now coming to a mobile phone, being able to see this person, you know, face to face and speaking to them in real time. They would even start questioning the phone. Ono omuntu yayingidde atya mu ssimu eno kukona kukakwinga nakati omuntu yatunulira first of all n'akomparinga baasi n'akamotoka katono ng'alaba talaba akamotoka katono bekayinza kusinga baasi kudduka ng'ate baasi yennene. These were conversations that were going on in people's minds.
Ekirala kyokoonyeeko katono ku Nabbi Sulaiman alayhi salatu wassalamu. Era babadde bawakana nnyo just not even 10 years ago nga baga nti ekyo kyali tekisoboka bagiyita transportation kino tekisoboka kukwata mata n'ogitransferinga from one
location to another
tekisobokera ddala. Baatugambye kati nti nno with kasina banamala okutaggulula quantum physics tujja kusobola okusimbulanga ebizimbe transforming tubitwale gye twagadde nga tukozesa gundi yemu eyo concept yemu eyo naye kati ebyo nabinawo obyogera kati era nawe nkyogeredde kati nammwe era ndowooza mwewuunya nga no ono naye ate agenze wala tebisoboka ebyo ninga ebintu ebisinga mu nsi bijja kusoboka kyevulanga nalinze ngamba nti nno abakkiriza bwe tubanga tukowoola abantu tuggyewo ekigambo kino tekisoboka. Kino tekisoboka lwaki? Kubanga tukiraba nti Allah wabanga agenda ku ensi eno giggalawo, waliwo ebintu bingi ebitasoboka ebijja okusoboka. For some reason we don't know.
Yes.
Ebintu bingi ebijja okusoboka.
A lot of them have been spoken about. That's where they fall even in the realm of ilm al-ghaib. Like our imagination might not see that. But there are people and they stretch their imagination beyond, and that helps now to open up a lot of things.
Exactly. Kyovulanga kati ate fe abakkiriza tuyina ate ekitubanja kyovulanga tukyali emu ku nsonga ekyatubeseza abanafu nti tumanyi kunnyonnyola bukkiriza bwaffe as per context.
Right. Abu Jamal, thank you very, very much. Let me just allow more people to join the conversation, but feel free to come back into the conversation. I'm sure it's opening up a whole new area for us, and a lot of us will be talking from all those imaginations, but just bringing in these little few examples of where we were a few years ago and where we are now. The fact that certain things have become so normal. My mom the other day sent me a message, and she added an emoji for a 69-year-old going 70. Sending an emoji actually just made me laugh so much. So much it was just like the thing that kept me, like going through this. This is a 70-year-old, 69-year-old going 70, sending an emoji. And it just felt, well, I just realized suddenly we are in a different world altogether. Hajat Sarah, I don't know if you're ready. Hajat Sarah Nanskusa, if you are there, just like to get your own in terms of especially in the line of the work. First of all, your reaction to artificial intelligence in your own way. Oyinza okubanga oli omu ku bayungira ku automatic nga oli London ne bakuyunga okuva ekawempe.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wow. Artificial intelligence is a kunze ndaba nti something which is really leading to destruction. Era nga bwogambye nti this like Mashiach Dajjal akema mu ngeri gye tumukozesaamu kubanga simple thing like okumonitoringa awaka oba okumonitoringa abakozi ku mulimu nobanga there is no privacy at all. You're working from home, but somebody can see when you are on your desk, when you've taken your lunch, everything. Kati waliwo oba mwawulira case e Uganda whereby omusajja yali agenze kukola abroad, Dubai I think, n'aleka omukyala we naye yaleka stage nzeewo camera which he can switch on and as and when. Kati he captured everything. Akomawo awaka after his contract ends, omukyala yeetala musajja n'asirika n'akola kind of like a get together mu nkulisa eyo. Remember, kati abantu ne bajja n'alyoka bazannyira ka clip ng'ayisa oli omusajja bazannyira ku mukazi we naye kati that was a shock to everybody. So that is kind of, for me, is abuse of personal privacy. Bw'oba oyagala okunkwata saagala onkwate mu ngeri eyo bwetyo.
Just to say, Ikra and Imran, I'll be coming to you. I can see your hand is raised.
No.
Help did it have taken forever?
But you don't need to play. You don't need to gather families and friends.
Yes.
And then you play the video back to them. If it had been like maybe in this country, you think you have a case. Nayatins, I have a right to sue you as well for interfering with my privacy. You never told me there's a camera here.
Yes.
So, kati ebyo bwe bityo ne tubanga naffe mu nsi mu nnyini mwe tutambulira ffe nga ffe aba bulijjo. Kassim oyinza okubanga nekyasobola kunnimba nti ndi kumpi kutuukako. But if I program my phone, nze kulaba nti okyali Micha wabula gongamba you are 5 minutes away.
Yes.
You are lying to me there is traffic. I just put in this where you are and the road is showing me there is no traffic. It's just wekeleyeza. Kagamba bitumazeeko emirembe nebibanga kind of promotes.
Instead of lying now, you'll have to tell the truth.
More, you may have to tell the truth, naye nga mu real world, ekyo twakulanga omuntu olina w'omutereezaamu naye okubanga buli kiti olinga mwana muto buli kimu bakirabanga kugamba you are naked. Obulamu ba tebukyanyuma. Kati nze bwe nkiraba bwe ntyo.
But in your own sector, your education, Jorimu, where you run like trainings and so on, are you not worried that, for example, AI now might take away that role that you've been playing?
I mean, it can, and it has actually indeed, because most of the learning is online. But there is a few positions which can't, even if can take the role of lecturers and tutors, but you're gonna need somebody behind it to drive it. The only thing is, basobola okuwamba wadde gwe mukulembeze nga headmaster, because you employ a technician who knows more than you do.
Yes.
You really mu hands eza IT technician wo yamanyi buli kimu ekikwatako n'omusaala gw'ofuna kuba yabiprogramming basobole okusasula.
Yes.
Kati when it kyova nti mu nsi the developing world, it's very easy now okutta n'okubba.
Yeah.
Olw'okuba nti omuntu bali wansi tuba tetumanyi nnyo, you depend on the minority who knows IT.
Yes. No, that's very true, and especially looking at I think about last week I was chanced to Narindi Mumoroka, and I got a chance to carry a lady, and this lady yali senior investigator oluvannyuma lw'okuttibwa kwa Jonas Savimbi, who was a big rebel leader, an African freedom fighter in Angola. He used to lead a group called the UNITA Rebels, and the way he was killed, again, the Yarimba forensic scientists who were first on scene to go and carry out post-mortem after he was killed. It was a very interesting conversation I had with this lady. But she was talking about the fact what they used was a mobile phone. Someone called a satellite phone. Someone calls you, and as they are calling you, the location is pinned. She's specifically targeting where the phone was answered from, and that's how they got him. After being elusive for a very long time, just like many rebels do. So the phone now became the site of the source of his death. But also within our own phones, there is something that I've learned that is very, very scary. When you disconnect your phone, for example, even if you switch off your phone, never to video, someone can still trace you. As long as the IMEA number is known, they can remember this phone. Whether you've switched off, that doesn't matter. Someone can still trace you.
That's right.
Theory is microphone. In a microphone. If people wanted to tap you, intelligence services now have a mechanism where they can get into your phone, activate the microphone. You are not talking on the phone, but whatever conversations you are having around the phone can be picked up and detected. Now, for anyone using this, and that's why I think topics like these, especially buffet, sometimes we end up in prison, we ending up in court. Terrorism. How is that coming up? But probably you've just spoken from the heart, or freely. You don't know what is around you, and this ends up doing that. The same thing is applying on TVs at home. TV power. Actually, if you are to switch off your telly, it is actually switching off from the wall unit. Because it is that TV, you switch off exactly the switch. In fact, no unplugging. Because now there is a way that they just log into your TV. TV is not switched on, or switching it on, plugged into the switch, and the microphone can be activated. Alexa, blah, blah, these voices can be picked up. I think this is really, really important for our people to understand that whatever, our privacy levels have been so, interfered with that now you have to be thinking doubly harder. Era chovura wakati omuntu nga President Museveni toli musanga ko na smartphone. Aina katochi up to now, like people who understand toli musanga ko na smartphone bakwata katochi. In fact, now phones like Nokia, there are other brands available, but Nokia 3110 or 6110 is becoming suddenly popular. You get to places like Argos, Nogenda there, Obamu, O2 shops or 3, and you'll find these phones small, costing about 40 pounds, 50 pounds, but they are back where someone just needs just to make phone calls. Traceability now suddenly becomes there, which you can lie about your location, but someone can just go in. Even with you switching off location, someone can still go in and manage to track you. This should be something of concern to any understanding person.
Very true. And it's equivalent of the demons. Mayembe, they are called demons.
Yes.
Right. Abazungu badde beefuula nti nno tebamanyi gye baayigira bye bigambo witches and magic and all that. From there they invented the world. And they know demons exist. My sister Aisha was just telling me, because she's a mental health nurse, and she was telling me that in the nursing or in the NHS now, they started teaching them about demons, such that when they are treating people behind it, they know that there is such things. Kubanga omuntu muddala olaba anyumya yekka n'aseka n'alaba kino n'alaba kiri n'agatta kino n'agatta kiri, kati bo batandise okukiraba nti okuwa obuwa ebiragala ebikerenda doesn't work. So there is that. They're starting now to make the connections between the demons and how also Mzungu adds up things. Nagamba, if this happens, that's what maybe into bingi nnyo byetutamanyi.
Sarah, thank you very much. I'll just leave you because of time to allow more people to come into the conversation. If you've just joined us, the program is Come Let's Talk with me, Kassim Kayira, live on 75W Radio, live on Ummah Connected, on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Zoom. And in case you missed any of our past programs, you can just go online, go on YouTube, just search Ummah Connected, or simply type in Come Let's Talk with Kassim Kayira, and you will be able to come in. Haji Katerega to everyone. I just joined due to work schedules. Welcome very much, inshallah. You are not very late. You'll be able to catch up. It's a very, very interesting conversation. Iqra and Al Imran, I come to you. Go ahead. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Good to have you on. How are you today?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. How are you?
But you are definitely not Iqra and Al Imran.
No, that is the name of my sons. My name is Fatma. I just sent a message on Facebook.
Yes, I saw the message. Thank you very much for joining. We are talking AI. Good to have you on. AI, artificial intelligence, are you worried about it at all? Are you excited about it?
In my profession, I'm a teacher by profession.
Yes.
So I'm worried, not even a little. I'm really worried about it. I have a couple of instances. Muja Kunsonyo, I'm not good at Luganda, so when I get stuck, I may go into Swahili.
No,
because it's my first language. So my Luganda is not good, it's very bad.
No, go ahead, please. Yeah.
As a teacher and teaching in a Francophone country, it is kind of a challenge, and it's a threat. Why? Because now students no longer want to use their brain. They want just to go to chat GPT, and everything is done for them.
Yes.
So like you find a student doesn't even concentrate in class because he or she knows that
Chat GPT is there.
Yes, is there for them. And the fact that there is a lot of
GPT. Yes.
And the fact that there is a lot of freedom, you can't take their phones away from them. And these are adults. So even when you're teaching, they are on chat GPT. Like as soon as you give them an exercise, they just go and insert in everything and it gives them like answers. But the fact that you're a teacher, you know that these people have Xeroxed, so you will know how to do it. And then
how do you know? How do you know? Fatima, just two or three quick questions in there as you go ahead. One, yes. Which Francophone country, if you don't mind, where are you teaching?
Right now, I'm in Mauritania, West Africa.
Right. Yes. This is actually the first time I'm hearing. I'd not bothered to worry so much about Chat GPT and assignments, but then all of a sudden now I'm seeing where you're coming from with this, which is quite interesting. I will say that I was introduced to Chat GPT by my two sons. First one mentions it, and then the second one comes in. Even, you know, the younger sons and a daughter are already aware of Chat GPT, 16-year-olds, 19 and 24. Quite interesting. That's a bit worrisome. That was where my introduction came from. So you are worried that it's beginning to affect the educational standards because everyone will just run there.
Exactly. So they are not even paying a lot of attention because they know it's there for them. And, you know, internet is cheap. Anyone can access it. They have smartphones, you know. So it's really worrying that we know the difference because this is a Francophone country. So like if you give them an essay, you know them, you know the level of your students. But you know, this Chat GPT, there is a way it gives you all the information, even what you've not asked for. You know, so you will know. A student will even answer something that they've not been asked.
Yes.
Yeah. So it is easy if you, as a teacher, you're trying to be strict and particular about what you're giving your students. 2 weeks ago, I was sent a message by a friend who is at the university, one of the universities in Uganda. I won't mention the name. They were given work to do at home, coursework, and he who used his brain got 10 out of 20, whereas the one who used Chat GPT got around, is it 19 or 18 plus something out of 20. Wow. But then they later realized, I think the lecturer did not like pass through the information, like to read, or the lecturer may not be knowing that there is Chat GPT.
Most likely, yes. That's very likely. Yes.
So it's a challenge that we as teachers or maybe professionals need to look into and also educate other people about it. Now, as Muslims, what's the way forward? What are we going to do? Because our children may say, now I'm not going to madras, kwa juu kuna GPT, there Chat GPT. If I want to know about Prophet Muhammad, I'll just log in, you know. And I'll get all the information, everything about Swala. I will just do everything on online. So, and that interaction between humans, you know, when like you're in class, you're teaching the students, you've given them a coursework or you've given them an exercise, you know, when you're moving around the class, you're marking them, you know, you're talking to them. That interaction is very, very important.
Which might be threatened as a result of AI, including Chat GPT.
Yes, just one last thing.
Is there even a fear, Fatima? Is there a fear that, for example, if someone wanted to detract from religion, ayagara ukuta Uislamu, anayetaka labda kujaribu na kuharibu Uislamu, they could just feed Chat GPT with information that is not. And once Chat GPT brings up information, the person will just buy it as Quranic truth.
Yes, exactly. I was having a conversation with, they call them what? I've forgotten the name. There is a guy who is, there are these guys who move around preaching about Jesus. They are not Protestants. They are not Catholics.
They are not
They are
the Jehovah Witnesses at all.
Yes, exactly. So he was asking me that I see you're covering yourself, so you must be a Muslim. I said yes, and he was asking me why I cover myself. He doesn't know, like he sees like it's strange, like why should I cover? He knows that we are supposed to cover only when I don't know, like when we are praying, you know. So I tried to explain. I told him, like I'm not a scholar. But like when I go online, I get this information. I say, now you get it from the wrong sources. So the same thing can be fed into Chat GPT, and we don't know even who is responsible or who is in control of Chat GPT, who is feeding that information. So it's also a challenge for us Muslims. Even when it's a threat, we need to embrace it in a certain way because we don't control a lot of things. So people in the IT department and all that, they need to get close to that so that they can be in the know in case something comes up. Because like if we distance ourselves and shun it just because of fear of X, Y, and Z, then they will feed it information that will not be good for
that we can't have control over. So we need to be a part of the story as it unfolds.
Exactly.
So that our own knowledge, when Masih Dajjal arrives, we are ready. We shouldn't just be caught.
Exactly. So that if some wrong information is fed on, itakuwa like easy for us to say, no, there is a problem here. Let's edit it. Now, but if we shun it and we don't want to get involved in that, it's going to be a problem. By the time we wake up, we see that the problem is there. It's too late. It has already circulated. And with social media, 1 minute, 1,000 people, millions and billions of people have access to something like that. The last part, I think, when I had joined here, you were talking about TV and all that. I think we are all adults here. There is no one below 18. So I'll try to be straightforward. That is one of my weaknesses. There is one story I was told. They told me that it's a true story. It's not fiction. One lady was using her phone to shave, and someone tapped into her phone.
She was using her phone to shave.
Yes, she was shaving her private parts.
Yes. So what was she using the camera?
She was using the camera of the phone.
Yes.
So unfortunately, someone tapped into her phone and she didn't know. She was live. She had gone, I don't know how many, views. Then later she received a call from someone and someone was saying, do you know that you're live? And this, by the time the lady went there, it was too late. So what you're saying is really true. We have to be very careful. As I speak now on my laptop, I have a tape attached on my masking tape attached on my camera. You can only see me when I remove it. And I learned it.
When do you use the camera? When you need to use the camera, you have to remove the masking tape.
Exactly. And I learned it from my American boss because he does that. I got shocked the first time I saw it. He explained it to me, so I also had to put the masking tape there. So otherwise,
something interesting, Fatma, there. Something interesting because for me, it was part of our sort of military journalism training. And whenever I enter a hotel room, this is like really for anyone, and it might come in handy. Whenever you go into a hotel, you've booked yourself into a hotel, switch off all the lights, in the room, and then put the camera on your mobile phone. Like switch on the camera for you to record, for example, not the lights, but the camera, and start moving around the room. If there are any wiretaps, if there are any cameras that have been put, the phone picks them. You'll see a red mark. It just picks it up in the darkness. I mean, first scan the room, see so that you don't bang your head on a wardrobe or whatever. But make sure that when you get to a room, that's part of really, like, for me, it's like straight away. I don't have to think about it. Get into a hotel room, switch off all the lights, start moving. Stand by the curtain, for example, and then start scanning with your phone in camera mode, in video, so a video recording mode. You just move around in case there is any tapping. Especially now, they do it a lot in hotel bathrooms. In hotel bathrooms, especially on the mirror has it's sort of double-sided. So oyingira mu hoteli ogenze kunaaba umanyoni mu freedom yo umejiachilia kama unavyofaa kwa sababu uko katika njia ya upwekee unavyowaza, then suddenly you are actually standing before someone who is enjoying from some room somewhere, picking up on the bathroom. So these are things that might go beyond where we think, and it's definitely a lesson to take. Fatma, thank you very much. For a first timer, that's very brilliant. And I think you introduced a whole new concept, especially in the education sector, that now, even as teachers, if you thought you were free and, and fine, maybe it's about time you started thinking. 20 minutes past 9 o'clock, the program is Come Let's Talk with me, Kassim Kayira, live on 75 W Radio, live on Ummah Connected. We are live here, so hearing your stories. We'd like to hear your experiences, your particular concerns in the jobs that you do, in the cars that we are getting now, electric cars and so on. You might be there not knowing what else is going on. There might be fitted systems that can, beyond just the trackers, there might be something more that actually follows everything. With Uber drivers, for example, you will notice that car insurance, one of the companies, Zigo, has what is it's called Zigo Sense. So when you go to get their insurance, you must download Zigo Sense, and it must be on actively all the time. Whether you are logged into your Uber app or not, you have to have the Zigo Sense on. And this now starts, like locating, seeing how you drive, how you brake, how you are speeding, and starts correlating. Is it a 30-mile zone that you're doing 35 or 37? And that starts affecting your insurance. It's just unbelievable what is happening out there. And that's why I think having conversations like these are absolutely important. You miss out, I think, on your own peril. These are conversations that bring in a lot just in terms of our own knowledge and understanding. Quick messages in the chat room here. Long message here from Haji Kateriga. Let's talk about ancient technologies that could be considered AI. One example that comes to mind is the Antikythera mechanism. This ancient Greek device dating back to the 2nd century BCE was used to track celestial movements and predict astronomical events. It's often referred to as an early analog computer, and is a fascinating example of how ancient civilizations used technology to understand and interact with the world around them. It's my hope our second clip is loading, because I think it will open up. It's one that we had shared quite severally. I'm hoping that might be able to bring in a different perspective and actually help us to understand, especially where we're going. Zam in the chat room says laptops these days actually have a sleep thing that you can swipe to close off the camera bit. Oh, that's good to know. I would like to see that put to tests. Haji Katerega was still there. Absolutely. If Africans were to document their traditional knowledge and ways of doing things, it could definitely be seen as a form of AI. Just like AI relies on data and algorithms to make decisions, African knowledge systems are based on centuries of observation, experimentation, and passed down wisdom. By documenting and preserving this knowledge, it can be shared and utilized in a way that benefits future generations. Fantastic, because actually what happens, abantu abagenda mbasawo abagenda okweraguza, when you go to msawo muganda nga tunatuuka waliwo ajja n'aketta aba yazze dda azze kujjako details while you are waiting to go and see the msawo muganda, comes and gets a few details of you. Ovudde wa muzibu kiboina, okay, tujja kulinda awo, jajja ajja kuba akulaba mu ddakiika eziddako. This person goes and feeds this information directly there. Next person coming, this is the brief history. You get there on this one in darkness, atandiko creating embera. Sense of baraba, mulimutiye mulese bali batya. Ingoli ingo mugongo gweguluma, because you've already said to the other person there, mugongo gweguluma. To you now in your mind, you're already thinking on omusajja arabawara. So there will definitely be a little bit of fake AI, but in other instances, some of these people go with experience and they see particular signs that they will pick up on and be able to study. Well, I need to hear from you. If you've just joined us, you're very welcome. We'll just try to hear from more of you. Zam, why don't we explore that little bit on the, maybe it might help to get our people understanding that particular sleep on the camera, on the laptop, that can be used. Zam, are you able to speak to this? Zam, assalamu alaikum. Okay, Zam, are you there? I can go to Amina Amber as Zam gets ready. Sometimes people, and if you are a newbie to this particular conversation, the way we work in this program is everybody is an expert. Everybody is an expert because we build upon your particular experiences to inform ourselves. Nobody, I'm not coming here as an expert. I'm just a moderator, a person driving the journey through the conversation. But it is your stories that actually make us, get to where we need to be. Amina Amba, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Go ahead, please.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sheikh. Sheikh, how are you doing? I'm good,
Alhamdulillah.
alhamdulillah.
And I just received a message from Zam saying she can't speak now, so probably at work. Yes, go ahead, Amina.
Sheikh, thank you so much for the topic. It sounded interesting.
Amen.
Kati, basically, the way I actually got to know about this AI, it happened like recently. Omuwala wange nalinga mugamba ali 17 yakayingira 6th form nga mugamba omanyi kati kola CV yo ki ogenda kutandika okunoonya omulimu, you're gonna start looking for work, then build up CV biki byonna. Kati ne muwe yange ne mugamba kati print mine kugundi ku laptop, then olabe how you can go about it. Ne mubuulira kati lwamala nze ne ngenda okukola. Kati she went school, ne nkomawo ewaka. When I returned home, nampa PCR CV ngeri very nicely, accurately done. Ne mugamba wagifunye ati? Nagamba mam gundi yagikoze AI. Ne mugamba wanje nti AI yagikoze.
How old is she?
She's 17. Nagamba mama just put in my information eziri basic bichi, then he produced this. Nagamba wow. Kati to me it just seemed like, oh wow, this is something really. Kubanza you could how I struggled doing my first CV.
Yes.
Coming back to our questions which you said, Sheikh Ngambanti, yes, you've brought up this subject in 2014. Yes, we can be alarmed.
2024.
2024, I beg your pardon. Yes. But these things have been happening drastically. We've had this slowly by slowly happening. Yes. The first day we accepted the pen to come, memorizing everything. Then we started writing, documenting. That was basically paving a way for all this technology. Instead of tumbling towards the masjid, you drive. Forgetting those rewards for your steps, which you miss. Kati truly, TVs, cars, Facebooks, and all these technologies did come in before they were paving a way to this AI. The disadvantages that jezirina fenga fabasiram, ndozera kutuletera that being laziness in a went, we are not doing what we're supposed to do. Yes, we are supposed to ask Allah to protect us from laziness, but still we've got these things like the iPhone, which is doing all this, the AI, which is building things for us, all this. So basically what I'm saying that all these are coming in to us. They are like making our lives perfect. They are making us lazy, but they are making our work so easy. Meaning it's like mzungu ayina ekigambo kyagamba mbuno heaven on earth. Kati meaning they are portraying heaven being the most beautiful, peaceful thing where you can achieve everything and everything is just pure white, pure gold. Kati if we place ourselves in that, whereby this technology is coming over, is coming in, is making our lives so much, it's like magic, an illusion. I think truly when you go back to the Dajjal side and you look at the definition of Dajjal, Eringa, distract, imposter, deceiver, illusionist. Just like on the other hand, just as you see these technologies, illusion and deceiver and distract, they are distracting us from our deen.
You cannot speak to the people that are around you In the meantime, you're on social media, actually, but then you have to post something very quickly, happily, happily ever after. No posting on Instagram or Snapchat. In the meantime, posting and so the reality is you are looking for followers and likes the other side. Here you are even unable to communicate with the people that you are sharing space with.
Yes, it's true. Anti Zanga bajaja baffe bagamba nti ebibi biwooma. Like ebibi instead of okawa, the erosional side of things. Kati nga batusomesa mu dini mweba mashaka batusomesa nti Dajjal will come, will appear with the erosion of Jannah. Where we will see like, oh, it's the sweet water. But if you drink on it, this is going to be the hellfire, and we've been warned. So all these things, I don't think there's anything we're going to do to stop them, just as we didn't stop a pen appearing and we welcomed it. We started documenting things, forgetting that we won't be able to memorize quickly the Quran because we're going to be documenting the books, information. So to me, it just seems actually like we are paving a way for Dajjal. Dajjal is a distraction.
Tell me this, I mean, are you worried? Are you worried, or are you thriving in the beauties of AI?
No, sir. I'm okay. That obviously, if I need the Uber, I'll just press the app and the Uber appears in a flash, you know.
Yes. Well, but will you be comfortable seeing in a driverless Uber then? Because very soon it looks at this speed. Last year in July, they started testing. They were trialing like a driverless Uber here in a driverless taxi here in UK. Went even to the central cities just to try to see the efficiency of that. All these things started slowly, and then they built up into where we are at.
Yeah, Sheikh, I will be happy. Anything which is going to make us lazy, not using our hands, not being bothered. Yes, I will be happy, like seeing that car.
Would you rather describe it as lazy or easy? Because it may be that it is making life easy, an ironing machine. Omuntu yagenda ngokuuba pasi n'okwata pasi eri anda n'osooka owuuba mpaka enkwawa n'owulira ng'ofunyemu n'ensanja bavu. Now all of a sudden just plugging and being able, and even getting machines that actually can iron without you having even to worry. You just place the clothes there, they just come the other end. Washing machine, you can imagine amabafu gengoye getwakiranga nago n'ogenda ku luzzi ne musiibe eyo ku luzzi n'okunya ogenda okudda nga nojjudde amabwabwa ez'enjala ezavuddeko skin oba peelings off because you are washing clothes. All of a sudden now you come, you just park in and you go sit, continue doing whatever you're doing. The machine is doing work. Those are really positive things if you think about it.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's easy to forget that is artificial intelligence as well.
Yeah, it is. It is really good. Yeah, Sheikh is really good. It's making our work really easy. But truly, if you look at it on a religious perspective, these things are making us lazy into our religion. Like what the sister said, that how a child is gonna refuse to attend the madrasa saying, oh, I can actually get that information via this app or via this software. So why am I going to listen to this sheikh? Obviously, it's going to make us lazy in that way. Yes, we are enjoying or something like that. Abaganda we tugamba na yenge ekintu kiri nti bitu making us lazy, though be making our lives easy. Atenecha bikupevingira Dajjal. Once
we need to find the positives, and we work with the positives and then avoid the negatives, but we cannot pretend to be outside of that. In fact, ndowooza kati bamaseeka bennyini beetaagisa tufuneyo omusomo gw'abamaseeka on artificial intelligence, because I think it will help. It's really good. Now,
fate okubeerako nti tuli ku opposite side yo ng'ogamba kufuna basheeka batusomese ku artificial intelligence ate ffe tubadde tulowooza omusomo understanding
bamaseeka okufuna omusomo to get training on AI for the sheikhs to understand what is AI, because ojja kutuuka gye atole fatwa nga tamaze na kutegeera the basis of this. For us to be armed, we need to be knowledgeable. So I really think like sheikhs need to find not necessarily doing entire courses in university 3 years. There's no harm although in that, but at least getting an inkling to understand how AI works, and then our interpretations of Sharia would be based on looking at this, because now it looks like wajakuba fatwas empia that need to come to address some of these things. Imagine, for example, where the first time that through technology they were able to check and be able to tell you olubuto lwolina omwana alimu mwana mulenzi oba mwana muwala nga ffe baagulanga obugoye akushara abasinga twayambalira ne kateeteeyi ndowooza olaba Kayira nga nkubye akateeteeyi baagula akateeteeyi kasobola okubeera across osobola okambala w'okulira ng'otandika okugraduatinga from wearing a dress. But, well, mwalimu n'obwavu anyway, but you didn't know, you were so expectant because you didn't know what sort of sex you had of a child. Kakati technology has come in already, there's all of that. There's a bit of excitement that goes away. And even I was interested, I was surprised or amused seeing some white people not wanting to know the sex of the child. So they would rather, like keep it, like guessing, or the mother gets to know and doesn't tell the father, just to keep the guesswork going.
Right. Sheka mbadde nsaba kuva waggulu nga kubuuza ekibuuzo. Kyogedde kutyaba Sheikh Okola to the you basically highlighted something about Sheikhs doing
to be educated at least
on AI, on a perspective of Islam, or just AI as a technology in the world.
No, well, because there's nothing that you study as a sheikh that you would not try to contextualize within the context of Islam. Because once you start their interpretations that you make, there will be need for example, right now there's another program that is taking place, program ya Bunajiba on UMC with question and answers. People are coming in and asking, what if someone brought a question that is kind of AI related? Sheikh is responding without having even knowledge of how AI operates. Don't you think it would help, for example, if you had someone coming from a point of knowledge to be able to address it, not take a context of Islam, but after looking at it in that sense?
Oli mutuufu nnyo Sheikh, kijja kuba kirungi naye bwe nzirayo okutunuulira yo gundi question eya leero wataddeko AI on the other side n'oteekako Dajjal. Kati truly ndooza topics bbiri zijja kuba nnungi nnyo okubeera nga baza addressinga mu gundi.
Yeah, Dajjal, I was deducing it from what I'm seeing. But if you watch the first clip that we watched, we were looking at the 10 stages of AI. And one of the things that came out and became apparent, there is a God-like AI. Like we are moving towards a sense where AI will be so powerful. In fact, right now, AI is 500 times more clever than a normal human being. That is reason for concern. Taking over, it is beginning to think for itself. On our programmer now, where does that leave us? Where does that place? Singa computers zikeera kumachanga zitabuse niziganti zero kuzikiza muliro. Where, how do you come in to intervene where they've become so powerful that they are thinking for themselves? If you've watched a movie in the 80s, RoboCop, you saw how the machines just sort of decided to take charge of situations, and what followed was just unbelievable. Of course, the human force came in and tried to control, but we have moved 30 years since then. So it means as we are advancing, a lot of things that are coming in, it means a bit difficult. Amina?
Wanti Sheikh neyanziza
So thank you very much.
Sheikh nayenga woba tunuulira ezo movies zedda tunuya movie ate era gye bayita Avengers. Kati ey'empya eyo AI mwekoledde. Sheikh tweyanziza nnyo, barakallahu fik.
Fikum baraka. Thank you very much. 2 hands up. Isa Makumbi, yes. So say then Haji Kassim. While you come in, I'll just read these 2 quick messages. Isa Makumbi, we are 38 minutes past 9 o'clock. Abajja tugezeeko tufunze tusobole okuba nti we pack in adequately. Isa Makumbi sebo nkuleeta. In the meantime, while you come, nsome very quick messages here in the chat room. Waliwo mbeera na nsonyi nga tajja kusobola kubeera kwogera, so you're fine to just text your message in the chat room and we will deal with it. Aisha M was saying, are these AI programmed using human brain chips, or these are the hidden satanics that are being tapped into, like you said, Masih al-Dajjal. Like I said, Masih al-Dajjal was for me just an interpretation based on what I was seeing and the kind of developments and progresses that are happening. Kagaba Salama says, dear Aisha, it's just science of making machines that can think like humans. Actually, they are going now beyond because they're now thinking beyond human. Abu Jamal, we don't need to worry about a lot about our memory or cognitive abilities. We can buy memory chips from Elon Musk. You've seen he's already planted one in a human being. What will happen next? Allahu A'lam. The future is machine learning, says Kagaba Salama. And worrisome, I think. Namkwaya Amina says these things are making us neglect our responsibilities, like the side of nursing a baby. Now there is every machine to swing the baby, akakomo, akakubira, omwana, okwebaka, fake mom to sleep with the baby, subhanallah. And the baby doesn't realize that mom is not around. Now the mother is around. Now the mother doesn't need to carry the baby between baby and mother all the time, creating a distance between the baby and mother. So everything the mother had to do for the babies is being done by machines. I see endless people that, come, you sit with them in the car, or you visit homes. Ogenda okulaba omwana keyabadde amutawanya nga bamusimba iPad ye wali ngadda wali baby like 3 years old is already swiping through this, one, killing the eyes, but also two, the mental perspective. Omwana abaana tebakyalina tegeera tebakyalina nsonyi. The manner in which they are growing up is sort of all machine generated. You listen to the language sometimes that comes on these programs and you worry because kids start speaking like these machines and they start losing the human touch that was there. Isa Makumbi, sorry for keeping you waiting. Please go ahead. AI.
Artificial intelligence has done a good job, especially when it comes to DNA.
Mm-hmm.
People have been told, especially ladies, have been telling lies about the father of the children. You find someone who has spent so much money looking after someone's child. By the time he turns 16, the true father comes out. Then someone has spent so much money. But even a common man in Uganda, deep in the village, he knows, if you're not sure, you're getting for DNA to save me all those expenses.
But Haji, you acknowledge that DNA is not 100% as well. It has that 1%.
But 95%,
yes,
it is closer to that.
That 5% is a lot.
So making a savings from that. Yes. In the advancement of technology and science, it has done a great job, especially in health. Especially for cancer. I was one of those who had cancer recently. But when I went for this PET scan, everything mops up the body and tells where the diseases are. So by the time you go for the radiation, there are so many machines that you can use in a hospital. Before you used to still use only one machine. But as soon as they put in a program, they tell you to lie down on the platform. The machine comes up, mops up, knows the radiation, the distance we are supposed to radiate the rays. So within 10, 15 minutes, one has been through the operation. Before it used to take 2 hours for one could go through those. And that AI is putting chemotherapy to IGC. If anybody has got cancer, has to go for chemotherapy, which is very toxic and very dangerous.
Yes.
But because of the advancement of AI, that one has been up aside. If anybody goes for breast cancer, they pinpoint where the particle, the fault gene is, and then they zap that gene. People who are driving around, if you're stuck in traffic, the car switches off itself. You don't do anything. As soon as the car is just
the start stop mechanism.
That's AI. And nowadays the insurance is going down because of AI. If someone has been convicted pet thief or has been run within that area, because of that, as soon as he moves around, they start picking up the signal warning whether there's somebody who is around who can most likely to break into your house. So the police is aware. that somebody or dangerous criminal is around within that area. That one has brought down the rate of the crime down, especially breaking into cars and in houses. Someone sees your car because of the AI, halfway the road, the car cuts out and then it goes nowhere. That is part of the AI. But we've been talking on the bad side about AI, that if you put on television, one can zip in and know what you are talking about. But yeah, that is good. Especially we've got some of these dodgy politicians who tell a lot of lies. Because when AI comes out, come the next future election, they'll tell you that this man is telling lies. Because what has been...
I just started an answer, so I was very worried about that. We need to run homes, and in running homes, we need a little bit of these little ones, little lies. And you have to thank Okumweva Zenyo saying, you know, you've cooked so well. Now AI might be able to tell the wife is holding a phone to you, and as you say, AI clearly says you are lying. That wouldn't be a comfortable place to be in.
Yeah, but you know your partner, what he thinks about. So if you are going to the meeting, he knows what you're going to talk about, what are the pitfalls. So you preempt someone who was well prepared for telling lies. Oh, that one comes out. And the other side, weather-wise, because you see nowadays, if you put in the location, it can focus the weather and tell you that it'll be raining at this time, this damage has to be done, or avoid these areas. So that one due to the AI. And most of these rebels who have been causing a lot of havoc, nowadays they know that AI can pinpoint where you are. Anything that is done, they can pinpoint your location. Especially see most of these our cars you drive. You might be driving a Range Rover or anything. If they want to get anything, they go to the factory, they download all the program, tells you where I've been doing, what you've been doing, where I've been, which areas I've been frequenting, visiting. That is to AI. So it become that we have got nowhere to hide because of this new technology.
Oh my God. Okay.
And when you look at the labor service,
yes,
jobs will disappear. A lot of jobs have to go. So you have to prepare to see how we're going to fit into this new environment with AI. You used to we first to have call centers, whatever it is. But nowadays, ring the company, it says because of the load, the computer will tell you that nobody's around or makes the line very busy. And then you have to switch off or tell that if within 10 or 15 minutes, you'll be able to go through. That is due to AI. So the costs are coming down. Say like heating bills. You program that I'll be coming home at this time. 10 minutes prior to coming to the house, the heater will come on, the heat will come on, heating system will come on. And will make a lot of savings. And if you reach certain temperatures, it cuts out. So that will be economic benefit to the people. I think that's what I think about.
Oh, thank you very much, Isamakumbi. Fantastic the submission there. A very positive picture considering all the negatives that we have had that have been worrying us, because we're beginning already to look at the negative side of things. But now you bring in a smile just in the context of, you know, the other things that might actually happen. The automation especially is coming in to open up new areas. Haji Kassim Kayira, go ahead, please. AI.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ese ko bobuntu obujja wabu topic buno obukula wa Allah kusasire ya Rabbi.
Mwemu buleta. Yes.
Obuntu buno bopikinga butukwatirako ddala tenga twagala we have to be involved nga bwogambye. Era ekyo kyogambye ssebo nze mbadde nsaba basheekhe baffe balina okuddayo ku drawing board basome ku kigambo kya tekinologiya. Oba kati ng'ekintu kyoyogedde nti omwana ennaku zino bamukugamba nti mwana mulenzi n'otegeka engoye ze oba muwala n'otegeka engoye. Okitegeera ssebo. Whereby before nga bagenda bano n'akaata akagiraasi n'awuliriza n'akola biki, omwana atambula, omwana awulira, omwana akola ki. Naye nga tosobola kugamba nti mwana muwala oba mulenzi. okitegeera nange nayambalako ku buteeteeyi ssebo ng'obadde ogambye dda bulungi nnyo
nkulabisa mu kateeteeyi n'eriisa eddene eri
oseeka nga bwambalya ddala kutuuka nga ntambula babunyambaza naye nga baabugula bamanyi mwana muki muwala bateebereza buteebereza so n'ekirala kwegamba tulina okuadaputinga kweyo kuba that's where we are going seeka mbuli seeka gyakubuuza wakoma ddi okukozesa ku cheeki okusasula omuntu ne cheeki oba gwokulizivinga cheeki oba ennaku zino obeera ne sente meka kaasi mu nsawo yo teri kubanga ebintu byonna biri countless ogenda noteekawo kaadi neekola buli kimu kati nze kankugereze emmoroka ambulance zetuvuga mukama wange zirimu kamera n'obwoba osumagira bweti ekulaga ng'osumagira okitegeera
ajati Sarah wagambye nti tukyalina privacy yonna
tewali seeka tewali owulidde emmoroka kati emmoroka eno kati gyenvuga nze ya 2021 naye bw'oba ogenda okutomera emmotoka ginnaayo nga toli ku sipiidi y'amaanyi yokka eyimirira bagiteekamu eyo
automatic braking system the ABS
eyo eyimirira yokka neyeekwata ebyo byonna bw'oba ng'olowooza emyaka 2 emabega wali tosobola birowoozaako so yes technology atuyamba okumakinga life easier naye at one hand atumazeeko emirembe egyo gyo gikkiriza gaana gitugenzeeko kuba tukyalina privacy nga bw'ogambye okitegeera ssebo kuba essimu eyo yennyini gy'ogambye bw'oli bw'aba ayagala kufuna information bulungi nnyo owulidde eri tv yennyini gy'oyogeddeko kati ate kamera baasaza amagezi bazikuwe kati eringa kapini bwe kati era ng'ekyo kyogambye nti bw'oyingira mu hoteri gezaako okulaba gy'oginoonya okitegeera babategedde nti abantu kati bazitegedde bamanyi nti nene baziraba amaaso gaazo kati bakoze obutono kalinga epeesa bweriti okitegeera sebo so we have to embrace the technology gye tugenda nze seeka mabega mbadde ntambula nnyo naye nga wallahi neegomba omusajja ajja ne passport n'agiteeka kantu bweti akagine kamuggulira mungu ya rabbi naye nange nabadde seeka e Dubai kyenakoze nagaddeko bweti nagezi kulanga akagikaggula bwe kati
ngenda bugenzi nawane ebungereza kati wawooma enzija gy'ojjamu ng'ojja buzi abalala gye batwalirayo eri bagende
bakulayini n'oyimira mu layini n'olinda ne bakubuuza wange ojja n'oteekamu bepa naye ga boogere Kasimu boogere weeraba sebo goodbye thank you neekwebaza n'okwebaza mukitegeera kale kwegamba
jjukira nti ifunga tonateekawo waliwo kamera ejja mu maaso wano neekulaba ogenda okuteekawo passport nga waliwo kamera gy'olina okutunuzaamu eriiso technology eyo kati is enough omuntu okuba nga ategedde byonna ebikufaako ne pressure gwe walwala omwaka oguwedde I think very, very disconcerting.
Kati ekyo ekiri mu muganda wange kyayogedde Isa Makumbi nti eyo byennyini eyambye nnyo okureducinga crime wano ddala e Bungereza. Kuba kati omuntu akola omusango n'agukolera e Brentford n'adduka n'ajja e Hanslow bamunoonya paka bagenda bagoba
oyita oli mu kuyita mu zikamera
oyita boota kati waliwo akagenda kalaga nti Kayira yayise wano paka lwe bakukwata oba oyagala oba toyagala kale kwegamba yes it is a blessing naye ate we are going to really lose our ebyaffe ebyemukyalo nga mama anti Sarah bwagambye nti oluusi ogenda n'oleeta akaveera aja ati n'omugamba nti wayo ebyenda ebyo byensanzeeyo byokka naye ng'ate ebyenda bibadde bingi ze ssente z'obadde nazo owulire nnyo nga nsanze biweddewo ebyo byokka byensanzeewo okitegeera
namwaya Amine wanagamba wano obukamera buli misumaali egiri mu minyolo gy'oluggi wano wosets already kamera yabutandiseeko dda kakati omuntu amale kuzikiza ttaala okubaako kyeyeekolerako ng'ekikye how do we go about that? Okay, thank you very much, Haji Kassim Sebo. Barakallahu fikum. Umma connected ndaba oli unmuted. Is that Sheikh Zaid or Usama?
Ustaz.
Yes, Sebo. Sheikh Zaid. Assalamu alaikum. Now? I cannot hear you, Sebo. Okwataganye.
okubanga olumu 2025 January.
Yes.
Bine passport tebagenda kuddamu zeetaaga bw'obanga kimanyi bakuwadde leave to remain oba indefinite oba byonna tebabyetaaga ogenda kuba maaso gonagala yotambuza
olwo bw'oba muzibe
ngalo zo tozirina
engalo kati waliwo abaazokya nga bajja e Bulaaya n'oyokyesa nga paasi
onaasigaza passport yo naye nga yatuve mu home office sebo.
Yes.
Kati passport fenna tugenda kutambulirangawo nga tetulina passports kubanga balabye nga biri expensive for nothing. Abantu data yenna bamulina tebakyetaaga butabo buno.
So even for a bank, then you just need proof of ID nga otwala liiso lyoteekamu wali.
Kyaka kyawo kizibu nnyo omuntu okubba okiraba ng'olina okubeerayo.
Naye era abagezi kubanga buli system that is created they always put a part B. Wabeerawo ka fooling, not full proof. Something is put in place to try to.
Wabeerawo loophole naye sebo basajja bagenze wala ne technology.
Allahumma ansurna ya Rabbi. Allahumma ansurna.
Olaba amaanyi ga Mungu.
Naam.
Amaanyi ga Mungu nti yatuwako katono nnyo ke tukozesa okufuna bino byonna. Nze mbiraba bino bye bakola byonna ndowoozaamu obulamu bw'omukabbuli kubanga omuntu omuteeka mu mwanandaani teeka Kayira nga omulaba omutaddeyo gwe omunyizeyo bunyizi naye Mungu n'akugamba nti agigaziya paka amaaso ge gye gakoma n'amutayamu ekitangaala. N'amuteeramu ekitangaala n'abeera mu nsi ye nga ndala nnyo ng'ajja n'andala ng'ajja n'andala nnyo kati tekinologi ali wansi awo wenda ono waffe nga olwo tekinologi ali wansi awo ejja n'eri wansi awo byonna by'ogenda okweyagaliramu awo nga nte Allah ye muyitirivu ku bino.
With the technology and the advancements now, are you not worried that besides digs, Uber style, we will be out of work? Because if you have automation, what's the need for a driver? That means now we need to be thinking outside the box for new professions. Are you not worried?
Yeah, I'm on the phone. Sekakeke ompulira siri worried kubanga transportation ebbanga lyonna for example ejja kwetaaga abantu ebintu byonna bijja kwetaaga abantu basinga naye banaakola batya abantu ffe kakati bwe kijja bwe kityo Kayira bwe kijja bwe kityo kitegeeza nti kati ate gwe olina okuyiiya okose tekinologi oyo nze nyina okuyiiya nfune mashini ezo kusatu ezinkolera nfune moloka ezo nnya ezinkolera amaanyi ge mbadde nteekamu kati hours 10 nze nfune moloka nnya nga nze mbadde nfuna paundi 2 nfune moloka nnya nga nzizira paundi 8 oba 7 ndaba nga tulaga walungi ate wabi watya Kayira ngeze moloka nja zigula zinkole.
I hear you. Barakallahu fikum Sebo. Ndabiyo Hajati Joweria here all the way from Canada. Hajati Joweria all the way from Canada joining us in the conversation. I hope you are the one. Hajati Jowe, assalamu alaikum. Ustad Zaid, barakallahu fikum. Hajati Joweria, are you there? Hajati Joweria, Ndabiyo Tadebo, very worried that we might be losing our jobs now. Banks have closed because of online banking. Yes, Hajat Joey, are you able to speak about what you're kwataganye? Oh, Hajat Joey. Oh, is that Hajat Joey in Gillingham in Kent? Oh, apologies. I was thinking it was Hajat Joey in Canada. Yes, it's Hajat Joey in Gillingham in Kent. Banks have closed because of online banking. We are likely to lose jobs, a particular concern, but I'm sure there would be something of a positivity. Haji Katerega, Go ahead, please.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yes, I'm very happy about this topic concerning AI, and I'm really, for me, on the other hand, I'm excited because I see AI as a partner which is coming to strengthen my livelihood on this dunya. Despite people thinking that AI is going to make us more pagans and thinking that there will be no God, Almighty Allah has made it sure that now, because man has become so clever, I'm going to bring all the things that he was thinking that are not possible, show to him that they are possible here on dunya, so that he can be able even to believe more. For example, the things which we see today, like chatting on a video, recording our messages, all these things we used to hear them in the Quran, that there's an angel on this side who's recording everything that you are doing, an angel on the other side who's recording the bad things you are doing. And nobody would believe such a kind of thing. But right now, AI is bringing it up to life. Whatever we are speaking now, whatever we are talking now, is being recorded and is kept in the clouds. And at the blink of the finger or the eye, you can bring it back. Everything as you did it is brought back to you after 10 years, and they are showing it to you live and clear and loud. So when somebody is able to see this, and this is something he has read in the Quran 1,440 years ago, it's going to make him even stronger in belief than he has been right now. And the other thing also is enhancement in life. AI is helping us live longer, because some of the things which are giving us stress in these days is the way to solve problems. When you are not able to solve a problem, that's how you become paralyzed in your brain. That's how you became what do we call it? Stressed. That's how you get stressed, because a lot of people go for witchcraft, or these people who tell mediums, because they are not able to solve problems. Whenever an African has failed to solve a problem, he will think that he's been bewitched. But now AI is coming out to solve problems immediately, giving you an answer in an instant way. And it also gives you evidence as to why that is not correct. So by so doing, whenever life is becoming easier, and whenever we are able to solve problems freehand, then your life becomes easier and your life expectancy goes up.
Haji Gaterega, are you worried about AI?
I'm not worried. I'm actually excited.
Right. Barakallahu fikum. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Okay, Abu Jamal, I bring you back, and then we'll try. Isma, please have our clip, because I think it would be a good one to conclude with. Today, Twagara Kuvuga Mpaka 5. Amina Amba was getting surprised that it's already 10 o'clock and we've just begun. Yes, it's quite interesting, but I think we've sort of tapped into a lot of these areas. Abu Jamal, just keep it, and then I'll look for Ali Buwembo. I think I saw him there. I'd like to hear from him. Mastura, you are very quiet. I hope I can get to hear from you as well, off the back of Abu Jamal. Abu Jamal, go ahead, please. And Musa, is it Chaguranyo Chags? Yes, Abu Jamal, go ahead, please.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Nze kyembadde njagala okwogerako ensonga ziringanga bbiri. Emu egira nti nno tujja kubeera nga tujja kufunamu ebirungi bingi kati kubamu ekifaananyi bannasayansi kyemmanyi era kyendowooza era kirabika bajja kukeera ku makya nga basobola okujjanjaba kye tuyita amajenne bwe banga bagenze ku energy spectrum using quantum physics bajja kusobola okujjanjaba oba okudetectinga kye bayita amajenne okere ku makya nga abantu abadde bagenda mu ssabo nga babakoledde ka chipu akagoba akajjanjaba energy spectrum issues
nga kalimu omuvugi
oba nga okesibanga ssaawa oba nga kagoba amajini. That's the energy spectrum. That's how far they've gone. naye kinze kineraliikirizaamu kwe kuba nti nno what is our perception when it comes to science. Kuba nagezaako nga njagala nnyo bannasayansi naye ngoberera bannasayansi abasiraamu ninga bo baliridda wa nabasanga mu kabokisi kewandigaye nti nno ak'okwegendereza nti kebandigaye nti nabo beegendereze fatabayanu kubanga nasangamu Ibn Khalduni, simanyi al-Hawazimi, al-Kindi, al-Khawarizmi ayatandika algorithms.
Yes.
Nensangamu ba al-Hindi n'abalala bangi nnyo. Naye nga bonna batugaba tubeegendereza olw'okuba akida yaabwe.
Yes. The dilemma is once you start going into that world, otandika okubaako bw'osumulukuse kati mu kusumuluka n'obeera so flexible nti olina byeyagala okuwewa, which religiously would not easily. And that's why I said ngeno case ya AI, I think we definitely need to be quite high up in the presence ya artificial intelligence as Muslims, because I think it has a lot to do with us. Ilmu nyingi that we move on, like Ustad Zaid was saying, has been built around what is said in the Quran.
Kati era nagenda kwetegereza ninga ati no osanga baba scholars baffe, they need to accumulate a lot of nuance, a lot of up and down play, accommodating each other. Nti oli wabanga kale agenda katinga omusajja ayakola ku algorithms. Womunoonyereza nnyo ojja kwesanga akida ye teyakwatagana na bamaini scholars baffe and they threw him under the bus ne bamukalabuza sengenge. Kakati ogenda okwesanga si physically sengenge naye nga nti abantu abo bonna bonna ojja beesanga nga bali mu kasero ke babasuulamu.
Yes.
Noga nti oba senga tebaabayisa wee batyo oba senga tetweyisa wetyo tubanga twawukanye mu mbeera kati nga ezakida oba ezaki nga tetwawukana nga tetweyisa nnyo bwetyo kuba tulina ebintu byetufiirwa kati nga tukisanze nti nno twagala bannasayansi abasiraamu bali yaddeko okusinga bali abalala kuba ati really foundation twalimu mu science ffe ng'abasiraamu naye buli agenda nga mu science they were not really supported, they were misunderstood ne babatuuma amannya ag'obubuzi ne baga nti abo be baabula n'ekibinja kino abo be baabula n'ekibinja kino. Naye ndowooza mninga nti nno osanga mu mulembe guno gwe tuliko, we should be a bit more tolerant of our diversity when it comes to our kugamba muzikiriza zaffe eziyingira munda nti no wakida ono wa madhahibu gano ono wa madhahibu gano ebyo byonna otherwise tujja kufuna ebizibu kuba kati ogenda kwesanga nga abasajja abo be baali basobola okwansalinga ebibuuzo bino bye tuyina.
Yes. All right.
Naye nga tebaali mu madhahibu agali mainstream.
Yes. Thank you very much, Abu Jamal. Let me bring in Ali Buwembo. Barakallahu fikum. Ali Buwembo, AI can analyze religious text from different perspectives by employing various techniques. Yes, but I think on religion, I think we shall need humans, because the deduction of humans is quite different in comparison to how AI so far is beginning to think, especially Wanga AI again, Dr. There are people who have developed it by parameters. Once it starts thinking for itself, but the parameters that have been set, if they are set by someone who is against Islam, I don't think that now the AI will start thinking for itself and say, I'm thinking differently. Those starting parameters might be quite crucial. Ali Buwembo, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Good to have you once again. So how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. How are you now? Thank you for presenting this information. AIs. I've learned a lot from here because most of the
we are only touching, it's just a drop in the ocean, if you can imagine.
Most of the things I've heard them from here, and my children, they won't even tell me. Now I'm going to tell them, what is AI? Tell me what is. There's another time where they say that in class, they get the answers from some whatever.
Chat GPT. It's called Chat GPT.
I'm going to ask my daughter, what is Chat GPT? He's going to ask me, because there's a time he asked me, Daddy, I shared something from TikTok.
Yes.
They say, Daddy, are you on TikTok?
And were you?
Yeah, I'm not even on TikTok. I did, but just when you share from WhatsApp, but it ends up with TikTok. So they thought even I don't know where TikTok is. So I think this technology is just like how Sheikh Zaid said, it's just a drop from what the knowledge which Allah presented. It's just a drop.
Absolutely.
So what is going on is good for us, which we should embrace it. Like how you said, even the sheikhs, even the religious leaders, the pastors, they should know, they should first learn these things so that when someone comes with a question, they know how to apply it, not to just say that is bid'ah.
Haram, bid'ah. Yes.
Because technology is wide. Whatever they are getting is already in the Quran. You know, for us when we got a chance of studying Islam in English, where we went to Gombe Secondary School, we were teaching Islam. But one of the scholars said that Islam was for birds, because it was not in Arabic. But we started Quran technology in Quran. But that was the drop. These things are already there. People are just you see movies which are coming, showing things which are going to happen 10 years or 15 years ahead when you've not even seen them, and they happen. Now look at the vehicles without people when you drive a car moves without anyone inside. But these things are going to happen. So I think we have to learn and embrace it, and even because now we are learning from even our children. Because our children, when they go out there, now that there's a language, they can be there. Now my children can be there together, 2 or 3, and they can speak in an accent so that I cannot even understand what they are saying. But that's another language we are creating.
You are not alone. You're not alone. We are all
I tell them, look, can you speak a Queen's English so that we are okay? Then also me I start speaking in Luganda. What did you say? Hey, why are you talking about what you also mean? I don't understand. So that's the way we are going now. So I think we need to embrace. So thank you very much for this program.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you very much. And that seems to be agreed upon by Hajat Joweria, who says topic very interesting. Aisha, very interesting topic. Thank you very much. It's been an eye-opener. Definitely, I think it's good just hearing into this that we start looking beyond, because now we started from a premise where we're just looking at these other sciences that we have just heard about. But the more you start looking in, then you start appreciating a little bit more just in terms of what else, the sort of areas that you end up traversing into. I think Amina Amba was hearing from Isa Makumbi talking about everything about the home and the heating and how you send a message to your home. In fact, now there are even people who you leave your food in the microwave, those microwavable foods. As you're approaching home, maybe 10 minutes away, you want your food to be 5 minutes in the microwave to be ready. By the time you reach home, it's actually just switching off and you're putting your key in the door to get home. This is, sort of where we are going now. People are beginning to get assistance, like instead of for companionship, people who have broken up. Human beings now, people are feeling like human beings are bothering them. So the way around it is to even get companionship from Dorez. Fanaudhu billahi min dhalik. Ustad Zaid, go ahead.
Tukitwale bwetu nti omuntu yakolebwa Mungu yatutonda yatutwalira mu jjana naye ne tujja ku nsi tuboneebone naye tulina okuddayo mu jjana ensi kiringa kibonerezo tuyitako buyisi olwanga tuyitako buyisi tuddeyo mu jjana jjajjaffe gye yali twena twali ku mugongo gwe ejjana kyekintu yewali contentment tolina kukola mulimu gwonna buli kimu kikusanga awo kati bano tulina kusanyuka nti bano bagezaako otuteerako katesti kejjana.
I think that was Amina Amba who mentioned that, if I'm correct. Yes, but wanguyiriza ku biri bye tusuubira okulaba eri.
Kubanga nsobola okubeera embuulire ewaffe.
Yes.
Yeah. Naye nesitikola nembeera awo naye ng'ebyuma binkolera buli kimu kubanga mu 1999 film when ya Demolition Man, I think either 98 or 97 now. Demolition Man, yeah, Sylvester Stallone, the Wesley Snipes.
Yes.
Nga ba predicting that ebintu ebigenda okubeera mu 2021 oba naye byebazanya bye tulimu kati emmoroka ezeevuga okufreezinga abantu omanyi batandise okufreezinga abantu ne baddamu ne okitegeera kati abantu bano nze technology buli lwokitunuulira negatively era tojja kufunamu kirungi naye kitunuulire na positive side
okigyemu the positivity okirekere negativity yakyo
ate Kayira obwavu bugenda kuluma omuntu atalowooza bw'atyo kuba buli lwolowooza nti emmotoka kati nti bwe tuba tuvuga uba kafe bagenda nedda uba egenda kwetaaga ng'ogula emmotoka egenda ogikolera kati gwolina kuŋŋaanya ssente zigenda kugula mmotoka nnya zikkolere okitegedde lwaki weraliikirira bw'ojja kudambuulira emmotoka nga zikkolera tewetaaga kubeera mu London ugende weeyagalula ennyamayo.
I've found something very interesting, especially in the farming world. Weather forecasts zaberanga so poor, but you see the level of precision that has come into weather forecasting. It's going to be very strong. You know, don't drive, don't be on the road unless you must be there. Weather forecast kati ne Uganda twafunanga ebyokuteebereza ebifuufufu mu level of precision right now is just unbelievable. Where prediction kati bandi yawo agriculture officer nga ampeereza list nanga nti sebo kati prediction yaffe eri mu kulaga bweti enkuba egenda okujja mu Gwokusatu nafu ey'Ogwomunaana yejja okubeera n'amaanyi. Postpone this and do it in August. And you go there and almost as close as it might not necessarily be, you know, like fully there, but it just brings you that close to that. That now allows you to get quite a huge investment or in a period where you are counting on the rains and then the rains fail. Other times you are getting too much rain, the El Nino phenomenon. Nagant El Nino has been predicted. Ogenda okusiga omara okuteekamu ebijanjalo osimbye yikazo 20-30 with anticipation and hope of things happening. All of a sudden El Nino nejja nenaaza ebijanjalo yika 30 bino byowulira nti omuntu yagudde eddalo wazze wano oli mu ssuubi nti you are going to make big monies and then you end up there. So science definitely is going in a way that I think we can pick up the positive things, enhance them, but also now be ready to fight the wrong things. GMO, the genetic
Sekakayira baseeka tulina okumanya nti nga Abu Jamali yagambye naawe n'ogamba nti isoko biyige abwembo yagambye isoko biyige nga tonnabyogerako katulabe ekyo kyogambye ekyenkuba omuntu ayinza okugamba nti beyingiza mu kadari ya Mungu
kadari ya Allah bagenze mu prediction.
They are predicting tebakugambye nti kigenda kubeerawo kyateeka okitegedde okweyingiza mu kadari kugamba Sekakayira ogenda kufa enkya teeka ogenda kufa okitegedde naye omuntu okugamba inshallah Sekakayira ojja kuwona kino ddagala olijjako katadde mu kadari ya Mungu kati okupredicting enkuba ebyo byonna biraga nti Mungu yatonda omuntu yeri ayamu bwegamba nti walaqad karramna bani Adam abaana Adamu twaba kitiibwa ky'amaanyi
hamalnahum fil barri wal bahr. Yes.
Ate nga yatuteerawo ebintu by'oku nsi byonna Sekakayira byonna tubikozese yatuteeka ku nsi natugamba go work the earth. Go work the earth.
Brilliant. 17 minutes past 10 o'clock. We are just 13 minutes to the end of the show. Therefore, trying to bring in more people into the conversation. If you've just joined us, once more, the program is Come Let's Talk with Kassim Kayira, live on 75W Radio, live on Ummah Connected on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Zoom. Abu Hafiz, you are quiet. Please, let's hear from you, the newbies on the show tonight. Abu Hafiz? Abu Hafiz, worried? Abu Hafiz? One more call. Okay, maybe not available. Sauda, I'll bring you in, and then I'll go to Jaden and finish with Hajat Sar for tonight. I think we'll be there in those 12 minutes. Yes, Sauda, Hajat Sauda, are you there?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You've been listening in AI, your own tech, please.
Very exciting. naye ate era eri scary kubanga kati nze field gye ndimu ya bya madagala.
Oh yes, you are the pharmacist.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Simanyi oba tugenda kuba n'emirimu in the near future kuba kaakati ebintu ebisinga byonna AI ebiyingiddemu kati omuntu asobola gye bujja maaso agasobola n'okwediagnosinga amadagala kati already mu community pharmacies mulimu robots.
Yes, I've actually seen Amazon gaina robots they take a supermarket sort of system where you can order online and then you just go robot ejeri kuwereza ku counter.
N'amadagala mu pharmacies, community pharmacies ezimu ennene ziziina kati egenda nereeta amadagala ne gakusombera kati ate lulimu ne bagajjayo mu madagala ge weetaaga kati robot egaleeta. So kati kiri scary kubanga obonaabona n'ebitabo emyaka egyo gyonna ate ne bakugamba nti kati omulimu gwe guweddewo kuba kati nga bafunye ebyuma ebisobola okugukola amangu ddala ate nga n'omulimu mulungi gwe guba bikoze. Naye nga ate scary kuba kati abalwadde bagenda kuba tebakyalindanga time gyoba kuba kati gwe ng'omuntu otekinga time okumanya okugamba okusobola okukola omulimu gwo mu bulungi bw'ogukola. Naye kati balwadde wise time gye baspendinga nga balinda kitegeeza egenda kendeera kuba kati ne mu GP surgeries abalwadde kati osobola tulina kye tuyita e-consultations ogenda nga luli walindanga so kyanguyizaamuko ebintu naye ng'ate era kiri a bit scary wa gye tulaga mu maaso.
Waliwo personal touch. For example, ogenze kucheckinga, for example, for a man, ogenze kucheckinga your prostate. Ng'omuntu wagenda okujja okubuulira nti oba embeera eno bwefaanagana bweti and reassures you. These machines are not yet at a level where they can give you that reassurance. Wakyaliwo that human touch that is still missing, don't you think?
Ekyaliwo definitely naye seeka ebintu bitambulira ku speedi yayiriiri. Tomanyi n'eyo reassurance osanga nayo bajja kusobola ogikola naye nga at the moment
robot ejje kusuubiza nti ojja kuwona tofaayo. Ekukwate ku kibegabega ekusaasire nti tofaayo ojja kuba bulungi.
Tejja kukikola naye nga you never know kuba kati eyinza okuba nga ejja kukikola ekuwe results tojja kusobola zinterpretinga then kati nga gwe ezo results z'ogenda okutwala ewa GP akunnyonnyole akuweeza reassurance. Naye ng'ate luli wabaddewo abadde abikola ebyo kuba mu GP surgeries omuntu akola ki? Osobola okugenda ne weepima gwe wennyini blood pressure BMI biki n'obikola ate nga luli wabaddewo ababadde babikola. Kakati emirimu gyo gigenda gikendeera.
Oba tuzuuleyo emirimu emipya kubanga kati now there are particular professions that didn't exist before. Digital marketeers were not there. Right now you have people that are thriving on digital marketing, doing a lot, doing very, very well. There are YouTubers. Someone to imagine that there would be a profession called a YouTuber. People who are doing great. Ojagenda okusanga yani mugoba nsonga yani waliwo ne gossip live. Farouk, people, Sarkozy, people making a lot of money off YouTube because of the views that are generating. Professions that you never actually would have thought, like would exist, and they have suddenly becoming. Area yedini enyinda baseka kati wachaliwo seka asomesa nga tanalengera kazindaro nga kazi. I remember in the 1990s when I just began my journalism career. Prime Minister Rwanda, Wamitanga Pierre Celestine Rugijema. This guy would never start making his speech in a TV camera. Even if when the late in Gamazokora speech, appearing on TV. And this is what it was for them. Someone is there as a YouTuber, a person like Wodemaya, who I'm sure many of you are watching, generating millions, in terms of viewers and views, and all of a sudden making a living out of it into a doctor, a profession that he had studied before he's already dropped it. Things that, AI has suddenly brought to light. So probably it might mean that while we are losing jobs, maybe that might open up options. Don't you think?
Kituufu ne mutabani wange yaŋŋamba yeetaaga kusoma ajja kubeera YouTube ajja kukola YouTube
Yes.
only 7 years old. So yes,
7 years old and already are also quite a YouTuber.
Oh,
yes, I know actually some 10-year-olds who are making a lot of money. That particular family, what was that family that does programs on YouTube for children? It's a family that they are making a lot of money because Ogendo Kurawanga by 30 million views, and you wonder what exactly who is watching and what they are watching. So certain professions that now we have to start thinking about to grow areas in terms of our thought processes.
Kituufu. So it's nze nga nze kisanyusa kuba kyanguyiza nnyo ebintu naye kineeraliikirizaamuko kuba ensi yayiriiri.
Thank you very much, Shajat Sauda. Thank you very much. Fazil, your hand is up, and then I'll go to Jaden and finish with Hajat Sar, unless there's someone else. But at half past, I think we ought to be closing up. But if it is your wish, then we could just extend. But half past is really the target for the end of the show. Yes, Fazil, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. You joined the conversation pretty late in. I saw you coming in.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
A very interesting conversation. Yes.
This is a very interesting topic, one of actually my big passions. Kubanga is a passion jendimu era nasubidwa nnyo nti saafunye up like Kalango in terms of what tuteerayo mu poster era
nabutaddeyo bonna
simanyize ate nakuwa enamba yange tompeerezaayo bakiki.
My sincere apologies. I think I'll do that.
So sad, but it's a very interesting topic. It's a topic Jendi passionate about. Naye just kenjagala okuyisaawo kantu kamu. I think you mentioned something about YouTube Navichi.
Yes.
That field of content creation in terms of YouTube.
Right.
But as a content creator, of course, because AI is a component of technology, yeah?
Yes.
What AI has done, for example, if I was to research a video, because leave alone video, as an interview, there is no way you're gonna AI jegena kujawa echo. Kilicho gambi cha personal touch. If Kassim Kayira is interviewing Mayanja Fazil, there is no way. It's gonna be very hard for AI to substitute that. But what's gonna happen is, if I'm creating a film, or if I'm creating a documentary, and throughout that entire thought process from developing a topic, developing a title, developing a thumbnail, developing a script, and voicing, for example, if I got a video about maybe Mobutu, I would have to look through so many different sources online, read so many different books online. But with AI, especially ChatGPT, I think some people have mentioned it here.
Yes.
Mobutu Seko. Nebandetera Mobutu references, the Akola, from which year he was born, and everything is just summarized. Then all of a sudden, no gamba ChatGPT, create for me a script, a 15-minute script, Jengendo Kuvoisinga for a YouTube video about this gentleman, in a comic way. Nechikola. Nekuteramu ebigambo ebiri comical. No gigamba create this script in an aggressive way. Neju creating an aggressive tone. Neju creating in a sensational tone. Okujuvisa. Then all of a sudden, Nenji Kwata Nenji voice singer, because this is the process I would do. When you voice singer, Nenji take a CapCut over in the AI platforms also color to improve your voice. Neribangeria radio. Never voice over and nunji. That we take again Adobe Audition and all these other softwares that we then got to to noise. To punch up your voice or sounding abuluji to make a nice voiceover. So all of a sudden, video I can just compress it within 4 days in Gajimazi.
Yeah.
Because of AI.
Yes.
So that is how things have literally changed, and they are really changing in a very fast space. I'm so unfortunate in on Zereti, but I would have loved to contribute a lot about this topic.
Oh no, you can be assured today we just had too much.
Yeah. So I'll just stop there because you had a
from
queue
all over the world as well. We got, for the first time, we heard from someone in Mauritania, a lecturer who is worried that students are using ChatGPT.
Very exciting. Very exciting. Oh, yeah, I don't know about Alabia Kalango monitor. I don't know if it was fake news or whatever, Simani. But for me, you could easily understand. Because I think Nation Media Group is cutting over 300 jobs.
Oh, yes.
But one of the reasons they gave is because into alternative media platforms, people are no longer buying.
No longer buying into NTV's news or media masoga TV.
Exactly. So the medium, exactly. So the medium is changing now. It's media houses, what they do, they are concentrating on creating their own content as well that they can use to monetize. So if you're in such an establishment in Atoina, that sort of knowledge, the consumer changes every time. Consumer again, for us, we are out. The next consumers are our children. So where are they? Baliku TikTok, Baliku Facebook, Baliku YouTube. So if you're going to target them to read the newspapers, they're literally not going to. At the last time I bought a newspaper, I think that is like 20 years ago.
Yes, everything is online.
Everything is online. But anyway,
Yes.
Yeah, sure. I'll just end there, but next time, inshallah, maybe
fantastic, Fazir. It's good you made it. And well, I can assure you, you can always catch up in case you missed part of the program. You just go to YouTube, type in "Come, let's talk with Kassim Kayira," and you get today's date, and you'll be able to catch up on the program. Haji Kassim ndabo mukono gukomyewo mbadde nja kwata kwene kumupya nga sinna jjajjoli leka ntegeke odindeme kumugwira bugwizi ne yeekanga ayinza okugwa n'amenyeka mara okumutegeka nti ngenda kujja then nzije gy'oli. Hajati Sara yajja otunzikira olunaku. I'm just trying to see. Oh, Nusra has been there from the very start. Let's see. I always like okuba nti tufuna participation y'abantu kubanga buli abazze wano sirowooza nti abazze buzzi kugira. Over the topic gye tubaddeko y'aba YouTubers and how, AI, the technology sector is sort of opened up new options. Haji Katarega, I think, is saying some people are earning over 10K on YouTube and TikTok by creating content. 31 minutes past 10 o'clock. We should be just wrapping up. Nusra Nsaboje, please. Are you there? Nusra, are you there? Hello, Nusra, are you there? You can unmute, please, so that we can hear your own experience of AI, whether you're worried or not. Nusra? And calling third time, Nusra Lumkuse, please. Right. Hope you are okay. Haji Kassim Geda Maso Sebo, I'll come to you. Nusra Ngabe Yetege Kando Zane. Then Hajat Sarah, please be ready. We'll come to you, wrapping it up. Haji Kassim.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi.
Nze kyebadde kwegamba akantu kagenda kutunyumira nze ennyumba ez'abapangisa sebo kati nzirabira wano ku ssimu yange kati omu yagenze naggalawo oluggi n'ayiwa endabirwamu n'alowooza sitegedde kumbe nabirabye edda kati nga nkubira omusirikale nga mugamba musirikale askari ki ekituuse ku nnyumba ngamba simanyi naye yabadde tamanyi in fact ng'agenda olabe nayiba owookusatu olabe kiki ekibaddewo yabadde shock okusanga oluggi lw'endabirwamu eyisa n'ambuuza otegedde otya
tewamugamba nti watumye ejjinni lya Nabbi Sulaimaani
ebintu Qur'ani byeyogerako wallahi byetuliko kati essaawa eno ennyumba nzirabira wano ku ssimu yange buli kimu emmoroka bazipaakinga ndaba waliwo eyali agenda okutomera ekisenge n'empita asikaali emuga asikaali tunuulira oyo apaakinga agenda kutomera ekisenge okola ki kwegamba that is kyetuliko kati kwegamba benefits nyingi naye ate nawe nagambye nti n'emirembe gigenda kutuggwako nye kubanga buli wolinya ekigere kati bakulaba ssebo oba okkiriza oba toyagala oba yagala gaana naye alhamdulillah twebaza Allah nti Qur'ani ebintu ebyo naye abitugirayo dda bano bongera kwafaaminga bwafaaminzi kugondamu bugonzi naye era kyetujja okusaba basheekhe baffe bakwatagane ne tekinologi basobole okugonza ebintu baleme kugamba nti bidia kino bidia kiri bidia kuba bikyajja bingi bikyajja sheekh ennyonyi eyo yokka mwe tutambulira sheekha nga twegamba ng'omuntu yagikulojjedde bwetambula allah
ennyonyi kati bw'oleeta kati namukadde A380 n'ogiraba ng'oli mu kalina abamu bali waggulu abalala bali wansi n'olaba obuzito obwo n'engeri gye busituka ne butambula omuntu n'obaga ne bazikiza ettaala n'olaba obumunyenye ku ggulu ly'ennyonyi.
Allahu akbar walillahi alhamd. Sheikh nafunako nentuukako ku cockpit eyo ne bagindaga buli pesa kyerikola naye muganda ngo wotira amagezi noga nti ono omuntu Mungu gwe yatonda wabeeredde n'amagezi bwe gati ye Allah waffe ali atya. Sheikh kyekyo kyembadde njagala okuyisaawo.
Barakallahu fikum. Leka ndeete Musa Chags. Musa Chags sebo badde one meetings and then you went back. Musa, assalamu alaikum. Obaddewo, you've been around from the start, nearly the start of the conversation. Musa, are you there? Musa, if you can unmute yourself, please. Okay, no worries.
Nga wetulinda Musa.
Naam.
Na sharing ko. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
Wa alaikum salam. Aniono wajati Mariam.
Esebo.
Nsonyiwa bwe wasirikiddeyo mu Kamoli. Please go ahead.
Yanti mbeera nkola era mbeera mu Kamoli ebimu bimpitako kati wabadde olina ne kagundi ke wabadde oyita batuplayingira oba kampiseeko.
Yes, akabadde kasembayo nedda ndabye akadde kagenze ne ŋŋaatu tumalirize n'emboozi. Ismail n'ogenda omukyala ayinza okunyiiga nga atuuse leeti.
Kati naye nze ndi both excited and worried. Ndi excited nti AI etugondezza ebintu ebimu. Naye ate nemba worried nina ke nalabye oba mwakalabye nga sinna joininga kuba bwe najoiningidde nalabye ng'ekifaananyi kyekyo ekya Amika.
Yes. Amika is the clip gye tuyina gye tubaye tugenda okuwunzika nayo. Yes. I think that would be justified nga tumaze okuwuliriza okuva wajati Sarah. Go ahead though.
Kati nina kakilipu ako we nakalabyeko ne bakabuuza ne kagamba nti nno kalina emotions
kalina feeling nako.
Kakati nenga nti bwe banaakatonda bwe banaakakola ne kabeera ne feelings ezo tekayinza okutta gwakakoze.
Oh yes.
So I'm worried about ebyo bwebityo singa kati nakino ekyogga nti nno tulinga abaloza ku jjana enga nti nno tekatwesiguze ne tulowooza nti ejjana tugituuseemu.
Eno olaba nti ebiri mu jjana byonna wano batuga tewali maaso gaali gabirabyeko wadde ngalo okukwatako. So just a stretch of imagination, but you are right. I think probably abatwalwa eddunia bayinza okutwalwa eddunia, but I'm almost certain definitely era omukkiriza ajja kusigala nga tukyakolera era obukkiriza. There is actually something ekyabadde kintiisiza. I saw on TikTok. I tried to download the clip naye ne kagaana nga omusaala kati omusaala nga gulina technology, gulina AI technology. Oli okujja ku musaala bw'oyimirirako okutama wansi n'onyiga epeesa eriraga esswala gy'oyagala okusaala kati neekuleetera options neekubuulira laka zirinnya kati ng'omuntu atandika okusaala ng'oyimiridde ku musaala kati solinnyako your particular hit yereeta gundi ye activating omusaala kati buttons weeziri eza particular swala gy'ogenda okusaala eri neekuleetera n'essuula z'osoma nga zibeera zeewandiika wali and then you recite. I found it quite disturbing.
That's disturbing.
Level your concentration in your swala, I think,
Kati ne wabawo kakilipu akalala ke nalabye nga bino bigundi byemwogera nga bwe mbadde mwogera iPads ez'abaana. Ng'omwana yeebase naye ng'omulaba brain ye teyeebase ng'engalo ziswayipinga mu bbanga.
Zikyatambula.
Zikyatambula. Olabira ddala brain teyeebase. Ate teri allowed okukula on its own. It's just remote controlled by the iPad. byonna ne bintiisa. Kaakati akalala akaali akamalako wano amagezi abaana baagenda ne bangulira wano ka Google nga bw'olaba Alexa. Kaakati ensanyuka nkabuuza bye njagala nti kati wano ssaawa mmeka zino gundi ziba zitya ebweru temperature eri etya ne kaddamu naye ne wabaawo one time twali tulowooza nti oba internet evuddeko oba what happened that time ne tulowooza nti internet evuddeko ne tumubuuza hey Google is the internet on ne kakuddiramu with gundi eyo nga ddala omuntu kagamba nga internet ebadde evuddeko wandibadde sisobola kwogera naawe ng'olabira ddala nali so shocked.
Tusiga nti oswitchinze on kali awo permanently wekali kakuketta.
Yes, kaakati
building up information.
Natya nnyo okuva ku olwo era kaakati bwe mba nyambala ettala mpijjako mbeera mmanyi nti nno somebody else is watching.
Subhanallah. Daba emirembe egivudde ku muntu emirembe gy'obadde owulira nga wegayidde mu kisenge n'olowooza nti you are free now suddenly okwesanga mu mbeera ezo.
Mmanyi nti somebody else is watching.
No, nze nakigambye abantu nze bwe ngenda mu hotel it's just journalism preparation. Whenever I get into a hotel, first thing nzikiza amataala gonna nekwata kamera ey'essimu. I'm just reminding those who might have missed. Nekwata kamera ey'okusimu nobanga recording a video, then you start roaming around the room. Kasita wabaamu any camera, it will just pick up as a red spot on your camera, and you will be surprised once you see that. Move to that location kati oba otepingawo oba okolawo ki naye at least oba omaze okimanya. Most bathrooms mu hotels kati mirror gy'olabanga mirror already inamu something double mirrors, and they have cameras in there. Oli abeera wali ng'atudde mu karoom ng'ali mu kwerolera bwe yemala eggoga gy'ali gy'atudde.
Era kyembadde okubuuza nti nno kati awo bw'okalaba tukakole tutya tukatepinge.
Nanti okatepinga, yes. Tiwalabye omusomesa ow'e Mauritania yatugambye wano on her laptop ya sticking wano kuside ya camera, whether she's not using it, teekako gaffer tape unless ng'osazeewo nti ogenda kubeera ku kamera. Otherwise nga toli ku kamera oyinza okuza nti oli ku laptop okola bibyo naye kamera wano already kuliko eri mu kutwala.
Nange bakiŋŋamba ne computer zonna zino desktop ez'omulimu zonna nassaako tape.
Ne TV eyawaka ne mobile phone. Yes.
Tape nze saagala bandabye nga simanyi naye ate n'ontiisa n'oŋŋamba nti ate ne TV kubanga TV yo tubadde nzijako nayo yennyini kati nayo
akapeesa akamyufu ako as long as kwekali that can be entered into and someone just still opens up.
Kati ako mbadde kamanyi. Then ekirala what affects me directly.
Yes.
And tracking business nga bw'okimanyi.
Yes.
Kaakati baagaye bagenda kuleeta trucks ezeevuga zokka.
Yes.
Wadde Sheikh Zaid yagaye nti no tugule ezeevuga naye with that waliwo bigger companies ezisobola okwaffordinga those nga ffe abatono tetusobola kukyaffordinga so baba batugobyemu.
Definitely baba bakugobye, si buli omu nti anaasobola ozifuna. Naddala atagenda kurimba kugamba nti kuzinoonya ziri agenda akwatira ezaaloolo. That might be yes.
Right. Kaakati abantu bavuga ba driver nabo awo baba runnings out of jobs. Kubanga kati ne woga nti Hajja Sarah yagambyeko nti era ne bwe bakola batya bajja kuba we beetaaga omuntu. Naye bajja kwetaaga omuntu nga bwe babadde bakozesa ba drive 10 balina omuntu omu operatinga computer etambuza trucks 10. So that's one of my worries.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. Quick message here in the chat room. Watch the series Humans with H. Invite us. Hajjat Mariam, thank you very much. Namkwaya Amina Agamba, it has audios and surahs even. Yeah, I could pray a mat, Jemba Dengamba, AI generated. Fanastaghfirullah wa natubu ilayhi, tusaba Allah atutas. Hajjat Sarah, you have the last word to Nzike, a program that has been very, very interesting. We are just touching really the tips. We cannot say we have covered AI, but I think for anyone, sort of things to consider, things to think about, how to harness this, how to take the information that we have gathered tonight and to see how to make the best of it, looking at the positives and then trying to avoid the negatives. Yes, go ahead, Hajat Sar.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi.
I don't think there is much I'm going to add, but I've also been fascinated in my line of work whereby I am a maternity nurse and I look after newborn babies. But today in some families, you find they have bought baby cribs or bassinets. And you put a newborn in there and it's tuned to the baby's voice. If a baby wakes up crying, it starts rocking the baby, and the more the baby cries, the more it changes the rocking momentum and also creating sound to calm the baby. So you don't have to wake up and pick the baby. As long as you feed the baby, change the baby, you just put them in the bassinet and the crib will look after the baby.
How about the feeding?
Sorry?
How about the feeding?
You feed the baby, and when you finish feeding and changing the baby, then you put the baby in the crib. You know, when a newborn wakes up and you have to walk around the room trying to rock them and calming them down, this is something the bassinet helps you to do, and it's called a snoo, which was invented by a certain professor, and I find that very fascinating.
It's called what? A snoo?
Snoo. That's the name of the bassinet.
Oh, like a snooze, like snoozy.
No, the word is just snoo as SNOO. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yes.
Maybe that's the name the professor named it, and I find it quite fascinating. Another thing that worries me in that job is lack of privacy, because I'm sure there are cameras everywhere, and you have to know that you're working with the mom, whether they're in the house or outside, but they're on their mobiles watching everything you're doing. And even some of the cameras are taking some recordings, so they can be played. And at one time, I had a chance to have one of the cameras on my phone. I downloaded the app on my phone, and I could see myself on video clips, which I already recorded without my knowledge. So they sense movement the moment you go into they sense movement the moment you go into the baby's nursery. They start recording you and they keep clips, and the mom they have also alerts that alerts them if the baby is crying, whether they're in the house or anywhere. So you just get a text message on your phone. You say, "Oh, have you had a look at the baby? I understand the baby seems to be in discomfort." So this is how technology is really taking over. I don't know, because you sometimes you don't feel like yourself, because you may not be intending any harm, but having eyes around you, you work. It makes you work like on tiptoes. You're worried. You're double checking yourself in whatever you're doing. One other thing I find quite I find quite interesting is the cookies on every website. I don't understand the meaning of those cookies, because every website you open, you have to accept the cookies.
Accept the cookies or reject them entirely.
Yeah, and if you don't, if you reject the cookies, I don't think you'll be able to get into the website.
It limits how much access you can have.
Yeah, that also makes me wonder. But the good thing is, with me, I'm just a layperson who doesn't care what the cookies or whatever is being recorded on
what the cookies are cooking.
Yeah, and today when I came home, I had linked my iPlayer account to the TV. And when I opened it up, I saw my picture on the TV.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't put this picture on. So what is happening? The moment you are given these codes, and that code, once you put it in another device, it will just transfer all your information. And I've seen this happening on all social media platforms where we are in groups. Someone's phone is hacked by them tapping on a certain link, and all your details and stuff are taken up, and then you start getting strangers calling you or asking you for money, or even going into people's accounts. That's the strangest thing. I think the security of this device, this technology is not really intact. It's lacking because it's easily broken into.
We used to have firewalls, and these firewalls now are getting broken into so easily because of the other mechanisms that have been developed now to sort of try to enhance the process. Difficult times we are living in, but inshallah, maybe we should be able to try to see how to fit within that. Otherwise, it seems to be a very worrying time for everyone.
It's really
While
worrying.
we enjoy the good things, it looks like the things to worry about are more, but it's more about the privacy. Tokyalina kyama kyonna tokyasobola kubaako kafaananyi keweekuba ng'olina bw'olina ogaa kankaweereza eddalingi w'okaweerereza we kagendera mu nsi yonna nga kagenze
You find it in corners, you never expected it. Yeah.
Yes.
It's everywhere. And also with our bank cards. One time I discovered someone was taking money off my account, and I don't know how they managed to do that. Until when I had complained to the bank, and yes, I got a refund, but I'm like, I never paid in this account. I don't know how they picked up my details, and then they're trying to get money off my account.
Well, information now is the biggest commodity in the world at the moment, as you will know. Companies collect data. You might just register. You are paying for your parking ticket because you've put in your card details. The card, of course, whenever you put in the card details, they'll ask the billing address. You see how much you're sort of putting in. On the card, they has the expiry date. On your billing address now comes all the other things. Sometimes there will be a date of birth. Before you know it, your entire life now has been given to these people, and then they can use it as they so wish. You remember how, I think about 4 or 5 years ago, there was a big issue with Facebook or Meta, the company that owns Facebook, when people's data had been sold, like to security agencies and so on. It's really something of a concern, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually protect us. I keep saying that more and more. Musa Chags says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Sheikh Wendy, I can't make my contribution, but the topic is very interesting. Jazakallah khairan. Amina says, thanks for, our details are sold off, yes, to third parties by trusted companies that we use. And Haji Kateriga, thanks for this exciting program. I have to go. Yes, we are also leaving as well. So Hajat says, Sarah, you had the last word. We thank you very much. Thank you to everyone who has contributed to the program tonight. Quite a very, very interesting topic. I think probably next week, unless something happens along the way, we might come into the parenting side. And Hajat Sarah, I think now I didn't know that side of you in the maternity side of things, but also this new that now I'm going to have to check up once the program is finished. A lot to look at, but I'm sure you've been seeing a video that has been doing the rounds about the iPad kids. I think that is a topic that needs special attention. How we are parenting now with the iPads. How should we deal with them? And we'll try. In case you know any experts, please recommend them because they enhance the program. They help us to be able to bring in the expertise, the technical expertise. But you are more the experts because your personal experiences actually help to enhance this particular program. Thank you very much. Hope to see you next week, same time, 8 p.m. on Tuesday, bi'idhnillah, when we shall be divulging into another very interesting topic. I thank you for all your time and hope to see you, inshallah, next week. Love you all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi